Welcome,
Hey guys.
misfits, to this episode of Skeptic and Ranting. Big Bang Cosmology
Mind
versus
blown.
biblical cosmology. You know, they
Bibble.
say they have a book for that. Bibble, that's
Bibble.
right. Got to pronounce
Correct
things
term.
very specifically here. Where tonight we are putting the Big Bang up against the Bible.
Bibble.
The Bibble, that's right. Bibble all night long. Boom. So come join James W. and myself, Amy Newman,
Already came.
for some, oh my, cosmological fun. Woohoo!
Guys,
That's right. I want to thank everyone out there for joining us on the intertubes. If you have recently gotten your vaccine booster shot, now is the time to activate your 5G chip.
and the aliens will be by soon to bring
It's
you
hard
to
to
hell.
get it working.
Mark of the beast
Woo,
and all.
that's right. Is that how the aliens mark you? I was waiting for the tattoos where they put like things around you.
666 or yeah.
Exactly. Or barcode. There we go. It would be terrible, though, if you walked around with like a machine that instantly was able to identify you and barcode you. And anyway, take you to hell. And if you enjoy anything that you like tonight, feel free to like, follow, subscribe. Da-da-da, boom. And then hit that bell icon. Sound effects included, by the way. So you can see our premieres and join our live streams. That's like no additional charge. Now, we are a skeptic channel, including the
mildly.
two schmucks that you see before you. However, after our housekeeping and our two opening statements, we are going to be opening up the floodgates, or rather the open mic, so you can tell us what's on your mind.
Come on.
That's right, baby. Come one, come all. In fact, atheist, liberal, or conservative, just come as you are. Just not on the sheets, not on the flags. I just clean the flags. You really, God.
On the flying spaghetti monster, that would be a sacrilege, right?
That's right. Our lovely flying spaghetti monster, reminding all of you out there to believe. Or he touches you with his noodly appendage.
Or one of them at least.
Oh my. One at a time if you're into that. Or
how long is that? 15 feet.
How long is it? Well, you know, I once asked Ken Hovind, and he told me that it's actually 15 feet. You don't want to,
I wonder how many. If Leo was here, I would ask him how many plank lengths you can fit in 15 feet. We need to do a re-rendition of our dick math. We haven't done that in a long time.
You're trying to get a conversion from plank time into
whale
penis?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a worthy graph if I've ever seen
Hovind.
one before. Oh, I'm sure. It's on his Seminar 5 on his DVD. By now.
Although they put me in jail for 9 years. I'm a little behind on technology. Steve, where's Atheist Junior?
That's right. Excuse me, my name is actually 47362. Anyway, you can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/Amy Newman, which helps us make even more awesome content, including this sponsored round table of KO Champ. Woo!
Yay, KO Champ. Woohoo.
Hey, the pagan religions kind of trigger the Abrahamic religions. So anything that really gets any one of them going, I'm all for. Though I sometimes let them go after each other. All the fun. Anyway, also sending love to not just KO Champ, but Ian Davenport. Which I would like to know how the heart formed in a creationist mindset. Do they really go into the organs? They kind of skip all of that. You don't really have to go into the logistics of that.
Dirt. God made him out of dirt.
No.
There you go.
In fact, when we're listening to creationist claims, it kind of makes a grumpy old cuss, and all of us go, because it's like, oh yeah, sure, get star physics in 6 days. No, it works, definitely. But we're also sending love to all of the female skeptics, because holy hell, sometimes it's been rough in the debate community. Sometimes even you gotta defend against the baggage of the Abrahamic traditions, not treating women quite as fairly. We got there eventually, or we're getting there, depending on countries and states, and But man, you know where we feel home, Diana Smith, and all.
Thank you, Diana.
In the freaking non-believer community. Not that the non-believer community cannot do no wrong. We have our scumbags and douchebags too, but I feel very welcome and home in the non-believer skeptic community. I don't know about you, James. And also, as we are planning, I think our 4th episode of Talk Skeptic to Me, the episodes where we actually get expertise of personal experience from people like you and people like Pat Lowinger. Woo-hoo! Thank you so much, Pat.
Coming up soon, folks.
And the common thing we ask, it's almost the common thing as we talk about the Big Bang cosmology versus biblical cosmology, the main thing we are actually asking for, and Dale Pastel is asking for, is empirical evidence. Because I'm totally fine if you want to have your religious views over here and your scientific views over here. It's when, you want to go with your religious views over here and you want to be like, hey, I want these taught in class, that we're going to need a little bit more empirical evidence. And I know Ken's shtick. Oh, well, I don't want religion taught in class, I don't want this Big Bang religion taught, and I don't want my religion.
Any religion or anything that contradicts the Bible is a religion, because you have to have faith to believe in it. You have to believe God's not real, because you can't prove that.
Oh.
Therefore, it's a religion.
So
you can't teach anything that contradicts the Bible. Yeah, it's religious, I guess.
You just gotta throw it out.
Thank you, Kent.
Thank you, Kent. Even though the people in the fields, the relevant fields, many of them who happen to be Christian and other forms of theist, actually disagree. And
people with real degrees, real scientific background.
James, are you questioning Dr. Kent Hovind? I remember Dr. Kent when I was a young Tyrannosaurus. He taught me the real sciences, like how you just made a man from clay and then the woman from a rib.
And then the talking vegetarian snake with legs came along and screwed all that up.
God damn it. They always do, James. They always do. But yes.
Talking vegetarian snakes with no legs are way, way more reasonable than evolution. Evolution?
Evolution.
Slow natural processes?
Which is another thing that pisses me off. They get subjects confused. Look, evolution is a fact. The Big Bang is the best scientific theory that we can understand right now.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, I think is the expression. If you could give us, I don't know, something from the Bible and then say, look, we then went somewhere else and in a lab it was correct. And holy gee moly, the Bible and the empirical evidence correlated, we would start to have something. We could start to find something. Yeah. But there's...
No, mathematics got it wrong all along. Pi really is 3. There you go. According to the Bible.
Oh, exactly. And so if we were to ever find it not being 3, you would think that would prove silly.
Yeah, we're just interpreting the Bible wrong.
I did make the one joke in the debate that I think Standing for Truth, he seems to like, is that I want a freaking debate between an atheist, Ken Hovind, and 2 flat earthers. Please, someone make my dream come true.
That would be great.
I just want to see Ken Hovind have to defend science. Wouldn't it be nice?
Use real science. Yeah.
A dream. Exactly.
For the first time ever.
It would be like
dream achieved.
You know, at the end of some movies, or generally in the sequel, where the old boss has to team up with the hero so they can defeat the even bigger villain. Oh man.
Okay.
Do it with me, Kent. Do it with or fight the flat earth or whoever you're choosing. Do it for science. But yeah, so we're kind of, and Dave Gar are just kind of like, damn, that earth looks a little round. What do you think, James? Looks around me.
It does look slightly curved. I see some curvature on that earth. Even the water, too, which apparently does not always find its level. Fairly curved when it does.
It's because water flows. It does not bend. But they can't seem to. Also, it does bend in some instances. I have shown videos to them in the void that is the internet and debate circle, and it doesn't stick.
But soldier,
just like the water with gravity, though, that does stick.
He was doing a science experiment when he knocked his wife to the ground for Jesus. A science experiment for Jesus.
I know. Well, that's
testing
just
gravity.
More. I don't know what to call it there. Ladies and gentlemen, there is the theist Christian creationist. How small brush do you want to paint? There's your moral upkeeper, ladies and gentlemen. Is it wife 4? Wife 4, but he hit wife 3.
That was wife 3. Yeah.
Oh, man.
He'll be moving on to number 4.
It's hard to keep up sometimes. Now, not saying...
Thank you, Bird.
Not hating on everyone goes through relationships and stuff, and in America, you actually have, I think it's a 1 in 2 chance of getting divorced. With those kind of odds, if that was skydiving, would you go skydiving? But so I'm not hating him on that. But oh my goddess, if we just read by the Bible, sits on the biblical moral perch, and wants to talk about anything,
Amy,
about any morals anywhere.
Your lifestyle is taking you to hell, Amy. Look at you. Yeah. You are an abomination to God. You are on the highway to hell. And you're driving 90 miles an hour. You can't wait to get there.
You should see the people that are in this van going with me to the highway to hell. Apparently, Ken Hovind's by my side, though.
Is that the Smoky Saint bus?
And we are also sending love to the head hyena of the pack, Skadook. Woo! And I love Carnivore. If you're new to this channel, I kind of have a thing where it's like the branch above cats and dogs. They're all predatory mammals, but they are all adorable. They include seals. They include foxes, bears, otters, all of them adorable. So just a great branch. Great branch.
Hyenas.
And so is Skadook and hyenas. And also our Biblical Skull Regos! Thank you, Regos! And check out our Skeptic Bible study as we are about to reach the end of Numbers. We have we're actually cruising through the Bible. We are reading the Bible.
Hey, Skywatcher.
Page for page, cover to cover.
You know.
Hi, Skywatcher, and hi, everybody in chat.
Sending music love out there
to everybody watching tonight. Whether you're theist,
we'll be opening
atheist,
it up soon, guys.
Whatever. And that's right. We're about to be opening up after our opening statements. Want to say thank you so much, Regos. And last but not least, thank you so much to Rachel Holland.
Rachel Holland. She swings. Look at her. Swings that like a pro. She's got some experience.
That's right, baby. Now, I'm glad that slavery isn't endorsed in the Bible. Now, that's my favorite thing about the Bible, is that it was right even back then. Is that it stood the test of time. We didn't have to go like to funniest thing. I forget which comedian, a civil war, as if there was a civil. But we wouldn't have to do anything silly like that, or oh my God, transatlantic sounds like it was a fun ride. They were just having a great time. And
like one of those work buses that take people to work, right? Except they were taken from one place at gunpoint, locked in chains, and sent on a nice cruise to work in a foreign land. Yeah.
James, do you have to complain about everything?
Guys with clubs and guns, but they're not a form of violence.
No, exactly. Exactly.
The mafia
it's
boss
just you have
loves
to do
you.
there forever.
The mafia boss loves you. He has your best interest at heart.
That's right. Has your best interest, just like God, James. He has your best interest at heart. Or else. And all right, sending love to all of our Patreons. You guys are who make this show possible, along with everybody in chat, our mods, everybody sending so much love. But all right, before we go into the open mic.
Uh-oh, y'all are screwed now.
Big Bang Cosmology versus biblical cosmology. Or rather, science versus religion. Because holy texts are not scientific documents. Science being the process where we fudge around and find out something that doesn't seem possible from divine revelation. The question of where do we come from is as ancient as humans ourselves. The Big Bang is the furthest back that we can currently go in time. 3.5 billion years ago, when everything was in a single space. We know this because of something called Hubble's law, an observation from our main man with a telescope, Edwin Hubble. Hubble's law, stating that other galaxies are expanding away from us in every direction, causing a red shifting of light as they travel further apart. And our closest galaxy, Andromeda, because of its gravitational pull, is moving towards us with an opposite wavelength, a U of blue shifting. One day, it's predicted the Milky Way and Andromeda will collide in what is to be called the Andromeda Milky Way collision. And from it, a new galaxy will emerge. These predictions are the strength of the scientific theory. They're also not what we get from Scripture. If the Bible could produce anything like the microwave background radiation, or rather, an early imprint of the universe, we would be talking business. Instead, we're left with stories that are supposed to teach morals to the tribes of the day. Adam and Eve isn't supposed to be taught in history. Genesis isn't supposed to be taught in science class. So, Big Bang cosmology versus biblical cosmology? I'll paint with as small a brush as possible. Christian doesn't have to mean young earth creationist. They can have their cake and eat it too, joining with the skeptics, atheists, and other people who understand science, so we can learn more about the universe together. Thank you. And all right, how are you tonight,
Don't
James?
do it, Newman.
And how do you like your cosmology? Oh my.
Oh, okay. We can't have cake, Newman, because they didn't bake the cake. They wouldn't bake the cake. Okay, they refused the order. So we're sorry, Amy. You can't ask them to contradict their religious beliefs. Anyhow, so hopefully everybody had a good time watching this debate. This was, for anybody who's watched a lot of Kent's debates, he was really pretty much on his script this whole debate. He didn't really get off script too much. He did have a few new things that he was able to sneak in there. But anyway, so it's pretty much just a display of his ignorance, and sometimes I think it's willful ignorance, not wanting to understand because of how just terrible he bastardizes a lot of things. But just cover a few of those real quickly. So he doesn't understand how the space-time between things can expand, and he doesn't really understand how space-time itself is a thing. I don't understand how space-time is a thing. I'm not a physicist. I don't know, but those who have studied physics, those who do physics for a living, say that it is a thing. They have mathematical models that work, that have great predictive power. So it works. It's a thing. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like they don't understand God, but at least we can use our knowledge to make useful predictions that actually yield results in the real world. And his thing about you couldn't squeeze a gallon of milk the size of a dot. But all we really need at the Big Bang is an infinite amount of energy, and energy doesn't take up space. But like Leo said, they've made energy way smaller than a period on a page that has way more energy than nuclear bombs. It's not a problem at all for Big Bang cosmology. The singularity doesn't really have to be a physical object. It's more of a construct. It's more of an idea. It means we don't exactly know what was happening at that time, but we're working on it. The opposite approach to that is to say, well, I've got this Bronze Age book over here and it says a few things, so I'm just going to arbitrarily choose to believe it. And if you have data that says otherwise, I'm going to choose not to believe that. That's exactly the wrong way to come about things, to say that the Bronze Age had it all. And if anything we find contradicts with that, it's wrong. What else did Kent say? He said, and he stuck this in at the end because he knows very well that it's been answered many times, but, the Big Bang made hydrogen, maybe a little bit of helium, maybe a few of the other elements. But where do you get all the other elements? You can't get past iron in solar fusion. You can't get any. Where do all the heavy elements come from? He knows fully well that physics has explained all this, that these higher elements, heavier than iron, are fused in supernova. And now we even know that a lot of them are fused in neutron star collisions. He knows that that's been answered before, but he just kind of throws that in at the end there because his lackeys, he's got to throw the hits out there because they love it. And we don't know the speed of light. Maybe it's random. Maybe it just goes one speed now, one speed later. Maybe we could speed up light or slow it down. We've never sped light up faster than light. We've had different parts of light move faster inside the light. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not a theoretical physicist, but we have never sped light up faster than light. We have slowed it down, but you will never be able to speed light faster than the speed of light in a vacuum, because if you were able to, you would break causality, because the speed of light is linked to the fundamental fabric of the universe. If you were to break that, you would basically break reality, according to what the physics tell us. Let me see if I can get a few of his other things in there. His famous, I'm going to get a jar. I'm going to put a jar of space-time in the lab, and we'll just sit there and watch it expand, right? Because the universe is expanding, right? So I get a jar of space-time. I want to see it expand. Well, of course, Leo said, yeah, if you got millions and millions of miles of it, maybe you might notice it. But no, you're not. It's going to be so slow, you're not going to notice it. The thing is that the galaxies are countless trillions of miles apart. So over those great distances, yeah, you're going to notice. And we see it happening. It's dark energy. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows why, if there even is a why, but we observe its effect. And, this is one thing that really annoys me, because Kent, and you hear this from Christians too, they say, oh, well, it says in the Bible that God stretched out the heavens. Look, it says it 17 times in the Bible. I want to know one Christian who read the Bible, who came up with the redshift or anything about an expanding universe before secular science did. Give me one person. What happens is they just piggyback off of science. So science comes up with the fact that the universe is expanding, so they race to the Bible. They try to find something in there that makes it sound like, oh, there, God stretched out the heavens. Well, there you go. They're not using the Bible to make predictions. The Bible is written in very vague, flowery, and poetic language, and they're just piggybacking off of the work science has done and giving the credit to their God. It's post hoc, it's dishonest, and it's almost disingenuous, I guess. That's the and yeah, their God is now falsifiable. And that Kent made that point. People in chat were making that point. No, you can't falsify God, because they can just redesign his properties to get around whatever method we could come up with to falsify him. So they're saying, yeah, okay, Big Bang, but even if it's true, okay, God still did it. Well, there. Can we disprove that? No. We can only tell you what happened. We can't prove God wasn't hiding in another dimension making it all happen. We can't prove that. We have no evidence to think it's true, and that's the point. If you just want to choose to believe something because you just like it and you just really want it to be true, nobody can stop you from that. Why would anybody want to stop you from it? All we're saying is it's not reasonable, it's not rational, it's not logical. But if you don't care about all that, you just want to believe it anyway, hey, knock yourself out. Have a good time. Thanks, guys. Let's open it up. Enough from me, and see what the people have to say about this debate. He does know what's up. Soldier, thanks.
Woohoo! Thank you so very much, James.
Stop the court.
And woohoo! And all right. With that, we are about to move into our open mic session, so you can tell us what is on your mind about the debate or just the topic itself, or a little bit of both, baby. And with that being said in the chat, I also want to remind and thank us from the Atheist Roundtable and Network Group. And a reminder that if you are in the non-believing community or an ally, that tickets for the better event are on sale now, baby. Woohoo! Tart.live.
Love you guys. Also, I feel like we should shout out the expert of Ken Hovind, Atheist Jr., who's been doing a lot of great, always doing.
Congratulate him, and hells yeah, Atheist Jr., way to go. If you don't know who he has been like the man with a mission, taking down Kent Hovind in an intellectual manner, ladies and gentlemen, because that's how non-believers do it.
He was just on Apologia, and that was great that Apologia did that for him. Atheist Jr. is a good guy. Friend of the channel.
Absolutely. Another great guy. In fact, can't shout out to enough of the non-believers out there. That is the great thing about, it's so funny. You would think we wouldn't coalesce. We are cats. Speaking of cats, hi Gizmo. But the weird way of just everyone having their own views and not having it come from a divine inspiration means we can kind of chill.
You're not going to hell. We might disagree about other things, but hey, I'm not going to have you tortured forever because I disagree with you about politics or something silly.
And all right, we are going to move into our open mics. We're going to go as people come in one at a time before we get into open discussion. That's right. All we ask is that we keep your openers to 3 to 5 minutes maximum so we can get everyone in. But with that, we got Big Screen, Vegetarian Bird, Brain Bug, and Soldier of Science. Woo-hoo! Let's have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. What is up, Bird?
Hey, Bird.
Woo! What up, y'all?
Not too much. How are you doing? And I know you, even though you've recently become a vegetarian, so you might be biased because of the Bible conversion, but Big Bang Cosmology or biblical cosmology?
Well, I got to give a shout out to Ken Hovind. He's the one that turned me into a vegetarian eagle. So, shout out to him. And I think he did poor again. What a surprise in this debate. He clearly had no clue what Leophilius was talking about. And I yield my time because I want to get into it. That's it.
You got timed out a couple times there, Bird. You were being a little naughty in the side chat.
Oh, my. And you could definitely tell this wasn't Kent's normal element.
No,
I was like, Leo, way to go on getting him to come on your turf.
Yeah, no joke. I was so surprised that he even dared talk about something like this. And like I said, he had no fucking clue what was going on, and I loved it.
Thank you, Bird.
Thank you so very much, Vegetarian Bird. Keep on
Vegetarian
enjoying.
Eagle.
Vegetarian Eagle. I'm sorry, that you just increased the American.
Exactly.
American Eagle.
Yeah.
That's right. And all right, thank you so very much. And
enjoy your salad.
We'll go and write down the list. We got Brain Bug. Woohoo! How are you doing? And what are your thoughts about the debate, the subject, tacos?
That's a wasp.
Hey, Brain Bug.
Hey, everybody. And just want to say a vegetarian eagle couldn't maintain its bone density for the power of flight. But
you have any proof for that? I have proof.
Oh, he looks pretty damn.
I'm going to echo what James said about the debate tonight. And Kent Hovind was really, I don't think he realized coming into it how out of his element he was, that Leo was going to bring physics and astrophysics and theoretical physics and all this stuff.
Particle physics. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from
Everything.
every angle, Leo knows his stuff. And I don't think that was expected. You could, when it got to the open discussion, you could really start to see that that Hovind was staggered because he kept trying to dive into his little. He's got note cards. He's got little, and I don't think that he's even in control of which note cards come up. I think he's got people back behind the camera sending those up to him.
His team
teleprompter almost.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right, and it kind of fell apart, and I guess you could see that too when he was bringing stuff like little pop-ups over his shoulder there, that he had a script that he was going on, and I don't think that he was anticipating that
he's gotten crap in the past because people would shout things out to him and his audience there, and they're like, "Oh, what is this, Kent? You're getting help during the debate," so he probably has them do it, quietly.
Well, you could see him reading something off of his screen there, but he was doing it like he does his live streams. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those, but he did a
tragically yes.
He does his Whack Atheist Wednesday and all that, where he's sitting there reading off that same screen, sitting in that same position. So I think it's scripted. But
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, him and Matt Powell in their matching Hawaiian shirts. I guess from what I understand, that he has this big debate thing coming up in the day before Thanksgiving. They're doing, but challenging like all comers. Matt Powell. It was going to be Kent Hovind and Matt Powell, but I think Kent's probably going to be indisposed on that date.
I think he might be out by then.
I think it's 30 days, right? So he might be.
I think he's going in on Monday, the 18th. So.
So he'd get out. Well, what day is Thanksgiving on? I don't even remember. American Thanksgiving, I mean.
America.
Yeah, Canadian Thanksgiving just happened, didn't it?
Yeah, they just had theirs. Was it the last Thursday? So it'd be the 25th.
Yeah. I think you're last week, Yeah,
I think he'll be out, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. So, Atheist Junior would probably know better than I saw you on his stream today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm friends with AJ. He's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. He helped me with my makeup. I'm not even joking. He sends me makeup tips and all kinds of stuff. So.
Okay.
I like the entire paragraph that you just said. Every part.
I love it. I love especially how much it triggers people like Matt Powell who are. Well, I'm sure Kent's probably triggered by makeup too.
Makeup! What the hell? Excuse me, sir.
It probably also triggers feelings in them, but that's a different story.
I look gorgeous in my makeup, so I'm aiming to trigger some feelings.
Yes,
that's my goal.
Excuse me, Bird.
Sorry.
Settle down, Bird. We're a sunflower.
That would be Mr. Batman. We should try. We only had him on once, a single time, and I think he self-rage quit himself. So good on him.
I might have been here that night. I don't.
Probably.
Mr. Batman. I don't think I got a chance to talk to him though. I think he left before too many people could engage with him.
Yeah, you didn't miss nothing. Don't worry about it.
I did get a chance to talk to Nephilim Free on here though, so I can thank Amy for that. Amy and Jane.
You rage quit twice.
Yeah, they self-trigger. You just watch them go.
They're expecting us to mute them or kick them, and then we don't, and then they get upset.
You're like little wind-up toys.
I tried to talk to him about carnivoran analogies, and he just kept saying that, but it's still a dog kind, and it's still a cat.
Thank you, Brain Bug.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Woo-hoo. But thank you so very much, Brain Bug. And Kent, as soon as it went to the open discussion, after you get off, when you take time and energy to write something beforehand, it should look good because you put time and energy beforehand. But the moment you have to have a conversation with someone on the subject, it deteriorates.
Turns bad.
You can't go off the cuff.
Because this isn't his subject. He vaguely knows how to misrepresentate evolution, and that was his safe. That was like every time he tries to run back to that subject, but that was not even
Not
close
what we were talking
to
about.
what we're talking about. Exactly. But yes, all right, moving right down the line before we get into open discussion, we only got Soldier of Science and Pieter right down. Soldier of Science. Hope you are doing well.
No guitar.
And what are your thoughts? We saw tonight Leophilius versus Kent Hovind on a Big Bang Cosmology versus Biblical Cosmology. What are your thoughts on either?
I think that last person who said that must be an old-time Amy Newman fan, because I haven't played guitar for a long time. But with
that's heard, yeah.
But with that said, I didn't get to see the Leophilius and Kent Hovind debate, which, man, where is that? Where can I go see that thing?
Well, you could go see that actually in the description below, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
And that is on Standing for Truth's channel.
Sitting for Lies.
But that is okay. What are your thoughts about the subject?
My thoughts obviously is my first question would be, did Leo have to pay a fee to the Kent Hovind fund of trying to disprove that gravity isn't real by slamming his wife down into the ground? I mean, that would be my first question. Is there a legal defense fund that this was paying for?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe
he sells a lot of DVDs and stuff, and so that's what that.
If I had to guess, what this is him trying to act normal. He's like, I'll go to the debate, the jail. What jail? What jail?
Okay, so that was my first question. Is, man, someone must have to pay Kent Hovind to come on and debate, and it's probably going to pay for some legal funds here. That'd be my first question. But then my second response is to the whole cosmology versus the Big Bang Theory is, did you guys see that recent physics paper that came out that said, there's like a team of physics that says the Big Bang should be modeled as a phase change, the moment when an amorphous, formless universe analogous to liquid water cooled and suddenly crystallizes to form four-dimensional space-time, kind of analogous to ice. Did you see that paper?
I did not, but can you link it to me? I want to look at it.
I'm being real here. It's a study by James Kwok and colleagues at the University of Melbourne in Australia. But I mean,
well, put it in the chat. Put it in the private chat.
I'll have to post it because I'm just quoting that off of what I read. I'll have to find the link to you guys. But I mean, I think that's pretty much what anybody who thinks that the universe didn't start from nothing, that it was probably a continuous cycle. I guess that would be the short description, is that it's not far-fetched to think that the properties which cause the universe or universes has always been there, and that it's probably just a cycle and a phase transition, kind of like what this paper is describing. So sorry I didn't see the debate, but that's my intro for tonight.
Well, you missed nothing, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you saw, if anything, Kent tripping over himself because he was like, cosmology. You said, not evolution. Gotcha. But yes, thank you so much, Soldier of Science. And all right, we got Soldier. 2 more. But we're going to move down the line and then move into open discussion. Well, actually, I might be getting him in a second. Peter might be there. Hold on. Ha. So we'll just, if not, we'll move on to, we might have a special guest host after Peter, I think. We got, it's about time I want more theists to come on
more
here.
More Christians, yeah.
More Christians, which is so funny because I actually want to give people a platform to speak. And all right, Peter, adding you in. Oh, hello. It's very spooky.
Hey, Peter.
As you can see, I am on the midnight shift, on the graveyard shift, actually. As you can see.
Wow.
Yeah, so, that was something. wasn't it? I mean,
No, it was nothing.
where do you start? I mean, Hovind is no competition when it comes to Leo. I'm 100% certain that Hovind didn't get 90% of what Leo was saying.
No, he didn't.
Because that went straight out over his head. I did enjoy watching that, except especially the part at the end where Hovind had some more questions, and Leo said, "Well, I can point you to a course where you can learn about this." And Hovind said, "No, thanks," because learning, that's not something Hovind would do, right?
I just go to the light switch and turn it on, and I have light. Oh, okay.
Tides go in, tides go out.
Yeah, I mean, it was enough to raise my grandpa.
Hit my wife. She fell down
from the dead. As you can see, he's right back there dancing to whatever the fuck he's dancing to. But no, this was a lot of fun.
You mean your grandpa's not a rock?
No. He's not entirely gone to dust either. I don't know. As you can see, I where I got my dance moves from. I got all of that from him.
Peter, do you think Leo's gonna be whacked this coming week?
Oh, pretty certain. And there's going to be a lot of talk about Leo using big words.
Yeah,
big words to impress him.
Oh, no.
And all these made up words that there are. I mean, yeah.
We saw the.
I had an awful lot of fun watching this, and I learned a few things too.
Live from the jail.
Yeah, maybe it's got Wi-Fi in jail. We'll have to check that out. But yeah, I thought that was fun. So kudos to Leo for doing this.
And thank you
Peter.
very
Good to see you,
Peter. I'm waiting to see. I think next guest just stepped away for coffee for a second. I was gonna wait. I'll say it now. What my funniest point of that debate was, because some people think it's unfair. I find that Kent having a staff that laughs, that I actually think is a bonus in the skeptic's view, because what normally happens is Kent makes a statement that they all giggle at because it's like, space-time, that's like 2 words. And everyone giggles.
You think there's an applause sign, Amy? Or a laugh sign?
Well, no.
It's also a weird, outlandish concept that if you put 2 existing words together, that you get something entirely new. For instance, everyone knows a wheel, but if you put steering in front of wheel, you do get a new thing. It's not exactly a wheel; it's a thing to operate your car with.
I don't believe you, Peter.
Well, and my point would be just. Oh no! Continue.
Yeah, things that weren't part of Kent's education. The list is growing.
He said education. That's funny. Peter,
Hello,
you're funny.
My name is Ken Hovind.
We've all seen where he got his education at. But
Amy, in the
Colorado.
In the words of the great Primus Funk, can someone get this ugly fucker off my screen, please?
And so I will just say, like, every time, because some of the times he would get those laugh lines, and then there'd be like a pause, and then Leo would have, or I've seen this happen in other debates, like evolution, where he would then get a very thorough explanation, and then you get crickets, because that laugh line now seems like they're laughing at Kent. Right. And so I actually find that all funny. And I wonder about that staff sometimes, because the rumor is always, the first day, it's free. And then every other day, here's the shovel.
You work 14 hours a day, no breaks, no AC. and get to work.
I think it's apropos that you even say shovel, because people like Ben Shapiro and Kent Hovind, they talk at such a rapid pace that they're literally shoveling so much non-fact in front of you that if you didn't know any better, you're like, hey, this guy's smart, and he's saying words and stuff.
Well, I'll give you a good example of that is if you've spoken to a flat earther your first time and you weren't paying attention in middle or high school, a flat earther can sound like they just have all of this stuff that they've been just deep diving on. But the moment that they are put that's the thing. If you sound it in technical jargon and things like to a lot of people, it'll sound like word salad, and people's brains will go, well, those were English words. Maybe it was me that didn't understand it. But then once you actually get someone with a physics degree who can just, or just Leophilius who actually cares about the subject, it torn apart. Really.
But Amy, I do have to ask, Brainbug, when did you get this evil?
Mwah.
You talking about torture and orgay? That's
yes,
right?
Yes. Peter, give me a second, because I want to tack on to what Amy just said, and saying that when you get someone who is smart and who is scientific, who pushes back, that has kind of more validity. I don't know if that's necessarily true. We're living in the United States where someone like Trump, who really gets by.
We're going to try
no politics. No politics.
But I heard you, soldier of science. America does have just doesn't matter what political alignment you are. America does have a science problem.
Without even getting into politics, what I'm getting at is the shoveling of the words and the jargon is sometimes more impressive and sometimes more appealing and sometimes gets more of the populace whatever than someone who is just smart and is
paint truth with as small a brush as possible, and then we have two theists and atheists who want to get in, which is, in my opinion, I'll say in the scientists want to convey information. The creationist wants to sound technical. And those goals are just two different things. And so if your goal is to sound fancy, cool. If you want to know how to talk to people and convey ideas, anyway, we're going to keep on moving down the line. That's right.
As we move in to
all right. I want to know what both of these theists, because they might have very different views. We'll see what their ideas on Kent are.
Good bet.
But Smoky Saint, we had just watched a debate by Leophilius and Kent Hovind on biblical cosmology versus Big Bang cosmology. What are your thoughts on the debate or the subject itself?
You're actually going to call that biblical cosmology? Boy, that's a reach. That was a rough one when Standing chose that as the title of the position that he was going to defend. But by the way, as you'll see, I'm blue tonight. I'm taking a stab at whatever the color of space-time is. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the color of space-time is here to answer Kent's question. So I'm thinking something around a bluish black. I think that's kind of where I'm landing with it. So and of course I always love a debate that's filmed in front of a half functional laughing audience. That's always a great thing. That's a pleasure for everyone, isn't it? Yeah. So
you take Kent's a little black and blue from your debate. You beat him up a little bit.
Actually, one of the accolades I tend to get from some of my old Earth peers was generally that I brought Kent down to a very humanistic level in that debate. Kind of brought him a little bit more off guard from his typical standard contrarian oppositional, position to actually have to really kind of think and explain a few things. So yeah, it was a great debate. I loved it. I get to knock it off my bucket list, and Leo got to do the same tonight. So congrats for him. Yeah, phenomenal.
What was y'all's topic about?
Well, it was the same thing, basically.
Oh, okay.
Old Earth versus young Earth, but mine,
Gotcha.
of course, from a biblical exegetical model. I've actually formulated a couple other arguments that I'd love to pitch at him. I'd love to get a round 2 with him. I'm not sure if that'll happen. I've been going in pretty hard at him on my channel lately, so I'm not sure if that'll happen. But I would totally do it if he would allow it. So, and Standing for Truth is 86 to me from his platform because I don't hold to his soteriological perspective. So there's that's going on as well. So.
But the gloves have been thrown. And hey,
yeah, no, I'm ready to point out the ridiculousness of young Earth in full detail. I'm tired of being just passive to it and this placation of my obligation for moral Christian consistency to try to be charitable and patient and decent. And now I just see it as some sort of deviant, crazy, idolatrous cult. So I'm not really obligated in any real
so do we.
way to regard them. Well, I think we're on the same page there. So,
yeah.
Hey,
welcome to
a
the
broken
team.
clock is right twice a day.
Thank you so very much, Smokey Saint.
Sure.
And all right, we'll see. I feel like Bubble is about to give possibly a very different view before we go into open conversation with Ogre as our last one. But Bubble, we have just seen a debate between Leophilius and Ken Hovind on biblical cosmology and Big Bang Cosmology. I saw you there hanging out in the debate. What are your thoughts?
Well, as to who won, I would say it's not a thing who won. Like Kent was definitely worse. He was just trying to fit the universe of what we saw into his book. And it clearly doesn't fit into his book. I saw bad science from both sides, and
okay,
yeah. I mean, Leo does know his stuff, but there's just one question that really does stump him, and it's the same question Darth Dawkins I asked him. Have you seen his debate with Darth Dawkins?
No, he did.
No, but that sounds funny.
Yeah, he had
Darth and Leo.
Darth he never debated anybody.
Oh, Darth, yeah.
He did. Yeah, he Leo debated Darth Dawkins.
No,
and that there's like video of that.
What did he say, Bubba? What did he say?
Yeah, I don't know why he going against that. Yeah, in that debate, Darth asked him the question, "Have you observed these quantum particles?" And that question stumped him because Leo knows. Well, Leo doesn't know what it is, but I know what it is. Wait,
you know what over Leo?
You don't observe the quantum particles.
Yeah.
You observe the reaction of the.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, but I know what it is. Leo doesn't know what it is.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's the ether.
And before we go into that, I will say that was what I believe Bubble and I were having our own chat about in
the ether.
Yeah,
in the ether, and we could possibly talk about that in the open discussion. But I mean, like I said, I'm open-minded to it. But in my view, it's been phased out. It was actually popularized at one point, and then.
It was the standard. It was like
You're right. Was
100 years ago, nobody knew there were other galaxies other than
Isn't ether that thing the flat earthers use to describe gravity? Isn't it that thing?
Probably.
Yeah. No, they try to
magnetism.
No, they try to use it as part of their fancy words to try to confuse people, like fermentation, stuff like that. Ether to them is just, yeah.
What that is. What are you talking about?
No, the words that a flat earther use. You know, they say things like
the
fermentation.
Firmament.
Yeah, the firmament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so they
Permanent.
Yeah, so they're just tossing these words out there. They don't know what they mean.
Not fermentation.
And
fermentation
you don't either,
is
so
that.
Yeah, whatever it is.
What they mean.
Yeah.
And well, I just want to ask this final question before we move on to Ogre.
Amy.
Well, I'm
sorry.
I just have to know though. If you had it's okay. It's the vegetarian diet. I understand.
I know. I can't. But go ahead.
Yeah, because vegetables fermentate.
And Amy,
now we're
just
getting something good.
just one thing. I love how you keep referring to him as ogre.
As
I think
ogre,
that's
is it
orgy.
ogre?
Orgy.
Orgy. Is it ogre? Is it
Orgy.
orgy? Is it really? And I'm messing it up. And I'm so
No,
sorry.
no,
I'm so
no.
sorry.
I think you should stick with ogre. I like ogre. It's also we're coming up to Halloween, so let's keep it to ogre.
Let's all get fermentated. Who's drinking alcohol tonight?
But if
Not
you had to pick one, Bubble, do you lean, or if I guess is the option neither? You really are saying neither. You're saying there is no Big Bang, there is no Bible explanation. You're trying to give the third position, or
Yeah, well, kind of. The third position is okay. You have atheism, you have theists, and within those theists, you got those who believe that the universe and God are separate, and then you have pantheists, people who think that God is the universe. People like Church of Entropy, and then you have panentheists. I'm a panentheist. People who believe that there's a God outside the universe.
Outside the universe.
Yeah, so the God's outside the universe, and we're like in God.
Can we prove that?
Yeah, light is you can prove it, but
No.
okay. Look, if you're gonna say no, give a reply as to why. Don't just say no.
You can't just say light. What are you talking about?
Well, you have to understand what light is. Do you know what light?
Sorry. Okay.
So you don't. Do you know? Because Leo doesn't know what light is. Kent didn't know what light is. I know what light is.
I'm sure you do.
What is light? What is light, Bubble?
No, you. God damn it.
It's a field perturbation, and you have to ask
That's
what is.
Leo said.
Yeah, but
The
Leo doesn't know.
perturbation of field.
Yeah, but Leo doesn't know what field. The field is the ether. What medium?
The electromagnetic field.
that's what I said.
The ether.
The
the
okay, great. Thank you.
electromagnetic.
And
you for that.
so
Higgs
Where did-
boson is just a fancy word for the ether.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
is it
So
though?
wait,
We'll go on to that.
No.
Wait, what are you saying?
No.
We're gonna go into Jorge. And I'm gonna
Okay.
say-
343.
But we can talk more about it in the open discussion if it comes there. Thank you so very much, Bubble, as always.
Bubble.
And our last of
Good job,
the
Bubble.
night, Jorge, we are skeptic and ranting.
Yay!
We are.
Yay!
Woohoo! That's right. And I love having you here when basically physics has to touch anything. And that doesn't
That's
really
right.
happen with Ken Hovind. And so we are talking biblical cosmology, if there is such a thing, versus Big Bang cosmology. What are your
Biblical
thoughts?
cosmetology.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught about the middle half of it during the space-time conversation. Talked to Leo a little bit about that as well when he was in Go's stream. It was exactly what you get from a Kent Hovind debate. Kent went to his script and somehow turned cosmology into biology magically. It was amazing. He's so good at that.
Yes.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Leo did a good job. I cannot wait to talk to Bubble because he's got some fun views on things, and I want to talk to him about that.
Is that what it's called?
Everybody loves Bubble.
Yeah, everyone wants a piece of that.
And all right, with that, we are going to move
Reel us
into
in, Amy,
open
reel us in.
conversation. I know. Thank you so very much, Jorge.
I think
I'm gonna
actually, Smokey wanted to ask Bubble a question right before he.
Ugh.
The
Yeah,
floor
I
is
was
yours.
well. I remember. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Just real quick, Leo had said that, of course, the medium that the light is traveling through was the vacuum of space, which is part of what his plea seemed to be, that it was able to be measured and anticipated consistently. And you're saying it's the ether. So how does that change the speed of light? Does it change the speed of light at all?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
how is it different from a vacuum? I
Okay.
guess? So.
To say space is a thing.
It
Okay,
is
I'm getting some echo.
No, I
Okay,
said it is
okay.
a thing.
No, space is not a thing. It is a lack of a thing.
That
Okay.
echo
No.
in
No.
Space
Say
is a
it's-
thing.
No, saying space is a thing is like saying zero is a number. Zero is not a number.
Oh
It's
my
only.
God. It's not this.
Please don't cut me off.
Yeah,
zero,
just let him answer. Yeah.
Your example is a poor example there, Bubble.
No.
Let,
Okay.
let Bubble talk.
But let him make his answer.
Let him pop. Let him pop.
Yeah, space is not a thing. It's like saying time is real. No, time is not real. These things aren't real. It's like saying zero is real. Zero is a placeholder. It is only nominal.
I love it so much.
It only exists conventionally. For example, if you really believe you can space this nothingness is a medium, put a phone inside a vacuum, and how is it still getting and put some sort of transmission outside of it? By that logic, there should be no transmission because it's a vacuum. But slide my cable here.
That's not how that works.
No.
That is not how that works.
Need to fix my cable. There you go.
Is your cable real?
This
No.
I apologize, Bubbles. Just so you know, I'm not generally a science heavy guy. I study history, theology, philosophy, things like
I'm
that.
just heavy.
But I'll just be honest with you. This all sounds like nonsense to me.
No,
So,
you gotta
just hold on, just real quick. Just let me give a recommendation. I'll totally let you respond. Try to take it to a level of real serious, like assume basically non-scientific layman. Try to explain this in a sense of this concept of what you are viewing is outside of Earth's atmosphere. What is you're saying? This is not lack of stuff, but actual stuff, it seems. But can you give me this justification or this argument for this? Help me understand where you're getting this justification for what. And if I'm straw manning it or misrepresenting it, please correct me. So go ahead.
Okay. What the ether is basically, imagine if you were a fish and you were inside this liquid. To you, if you were the fish, you wouldn't care about the liquid. It's just like air to us. And that's what the ether is. It's this medium. It's this divine medium, which basically proves God.
Divine?
There's so much stacked in this.
Wow.
Yeah, because it would have to be divine. Anyways, so
okay, why would it have to be divine?
I'm almost missing it.
Let's go in turns here so Bubble can
Outright.
respond to us. If we all talk at once, then it's gonna.
You're right. I'm
get
gonna mute.
stupid.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let him respond to Smokey, and then we'll let somebody else take a shot at him.
okay, so yeah, this fabric of time or this fabric of space, whatever it is the ether, and the way we prove these is through light. Because what we gotta ask, what is light? Light is a field perturbation. So what is it perturbating? And it's not space, because the space doesn't exist. It's not something it is. So what is that medium? That medium is the ether. So basically,
ether is space time.
no, it is not space time. It is.
Can I ask Bubble a question?
Is it inside space time?
Bubble, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. In the Christian religion, when was light created outside of the universe?
Well, he's not a Christian.
He's not a Christian.
Okay, yeah. Okay, he's not. But in the divinity of the Christian world, when was light created?
When God created the Word, the Big Bang. God is the Big Bang. God is the Word.
No. God existed before light existed.
But God is light.
The Word didn't exist before God.
If I could freeze that for 1 second, because you are saying the Big Bang is God or caused or whatever, does that mean you do believe in the Big Bang?
Well, I believe the Big Bang, but I think when Christians are talking about the Big Bang, when they say the beginning, they're talking about the beginning of the universe. And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God.
So you're not Christian. What do you care?
No, I'm answering as to how he asked. Okay, so the God is the singularity.
Okay, but do you think the Christian Bible is true?
I never in a million years thought I would say this, but I wish Leo was here.
Oh boy!
Do you think the Christian God is true, or the Bible is true? Excuse me.
I think parts of it are true.
Parts of it, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to clip Smokey's statement.
The preposition
sent to Leo in a GIF.
So let me ask you this, Bubble. If Christianity is true and time and everything happened when God created the universe, did God exist for infinity before that happened? And
Well,
therefore would not be a singularity.
again,
So did God literally exist for an infinite amount of time? Of course, which we agree, time didn't exist. So I don't know how you can quantify that, right?
Because space-time doesn't exist outside the universe. It's only inside the universe.
So God didn't experience time. Is that what you're saying?
Because it doesn't exist.
So God didn't experience time.
It doesn't exist. You can't experience something that doesn't exist.
So then God, how did God have a concept of time, and how did God exist if no time existed? Did it experience any?
Who, I can't see names. Who is the iconless dude in the center?
That's me, Soldier of Science.
So, you're Soldier of Science. Okay, I'm familiar with you. Okay.
Yep.
Continue.
Yeah. So
well, actually, before you guys continue, because you said in there, before God, there was no space-time. But can we go back to that? Do you believe in space-time?
No, I don't.
Oh,
so then it doesn't matter.
Right. He was trying to answer from a Christian perspective. It's a really weird way.
Not even from a Christian perspective, from a physics perspective. If time existed when the universe was created, as far as we know it, atoms moving, atoms decaying, that's how we know time exists. Does God experience time? And if God did not experience time, then what is the fucking point, dude?
God cannot experience time because there's no such thing as time.
Oh my God.
Okay, what time is, how we're experiencing actual time is
11:03 p.m.
You can actually test this experiment where you can use magnets to shift the aging process of like plants and mice.
What?
Oh boy!
I want to hear that. Wait, quiet. I want to hear this. Aging process. Please explain.
You can I don't know how exactly it works, but it affects your aging.
Wait, is your claim magnets affect aging?
No, the thing we call magnetism affects aging.
Oh, wow. Magnetism affects aging.
Okay, because time time isn't a thing. Time isn't
a thing.
No, it's not.
Want to expand on that?
It is.
Your explanation is taking a lot of time, by the way.
Well, yeah. But it doesn't help they keep cutting off.
Am I ruining your flow?
Can you give me your definition of an action?
No, I'm trying to put it in layman's terms.
Yeah, but that's why I was curious in your definition of an action, because you can't act outside of time.
Yeah,
you can't do anything outside of time.
Act outside of time. Time's not a thing. You keep
thinking, that's why I wanted you to define what an action is.
You're starting with this false presupposition that time is a thing.
Why do you keep saying that?
If time is not a thing, how can you, let's say for a god, how can he create anything if there is no time? Because that is an action, and the action is a change over time.
How can I interrupt you if there is no time? By interrupting you in what you're saying, aren't I blocking your time?
No, those are events. Those are causation events.
What do hold on. If there is no time, what's an event?
Right.
There is no time. What's an event?
We're talking about causation here, though. Causation exists within a temporal framework, and there can't be cause and effect. I'm sorry.
An event also exists in a temporal framework. So what is an event, Bubble? Bubble. What's an event?
Okay, here I'll put it simple. Why do you think when you get
no, answer the question. What's an event?
Let him answer, Peter. He takes a bit of time to do this. It's okay.
I don't know. Just an event, isn't it? I don't know how to lower that even more down.
Can I ask you?
Give it a try. What's an event?
I got dibs after Amy. I got a question too.
Okay,
I'll wait my turn.
Event is an event, but it does not mean time is real.
That's tautology.
An event is what?
Okay, an event is, but it doesn't mean time is real.
I got a question.
But what is an event? Give me your definition of an event.
It wouldn't matter because it doesn't prove time is real. Do you get what I'm saying?
Shut up, Peter.
No, I don't care if it matters or not. Give me your definition of an
call me
event.
that
If there is
mustache,
no
Peter.
time, I love to hear
Can I
that.
smash
Okay,
this?
my
Can I
definition.
Hush.
My
Can I
definition of
ask-
an event is event. Okay.
See, listen, in
That's
events,
not, not a definition. That's a
How did-
repetition.
it's a tautology, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Bubble,
Right. Let's go to
I have a
Amy.
very important question, and then we can go to
We'll
Jorge,
go to
and then
Ogre.
Hell yeah, we can go to me.
Ogre. Is it? Oh, you're killing me here. I hate you people because I want to get people's names right, but I'm so bad at pronunciation. Comprehension, good. Spelling and that.
Tangelo.
Oh god, exactly.
And Tangelo.
Orange Jello. Go ahead, Newman.
I want to know. So where did you get? I want to call these set of hypotheses. I don't want to call theory. You could call your own theory. But where does this come from? Did you just get it sitting there and thinking about it, trying to figure it out? Does it come from other experts? Where does it come from?
It comes from Tesla, Faraday, Steinhardt. They all believed in the ether. It was only yes it did. It was only until recently that this whole particle Saturnian kind of atomist came about. Well, you had atoms.
Recently in time.
I'm really curious. Bubble, how old are you?
Peter's jumping ahead of me. Fuck Peter.
No, hold on.
No. He is taking spatially time-wise in front of me. This is not cool.
Peter, you've had your
Jorge,
time. I mean,
Jorge.
wait, whatever it is.
Okay, I'm starting to regret that I gave you the link. So,
I
Bubble,
told you to let him
Bubble.
stew.
One
You
quick
get that
question.
mustache.
How old are you?
I'm
Okay,
30.
Darth. Damn it.
You are 30. How's that possible if there's no time?
Well, I can answer it, but you guys won't let me answer. Let me answer.
That's Jorge said.
Okay.
You're 30. You're 30 what? You're 30 what exactly?
Let Bubble answer.
I can
Come on,
answer.
I want to hear it.
Okay, the reason we experience this thing we call time, because time is not a thing. It's like
You said
I would
that.
say, yeah.
You sell it like you're selling it. I love that.
You're a 30-year-old telling us time is not a thing. Continue. I'm starting to get there.
Okay, look. Do you know what time is? I know, because I know what
You're
time
not
is.
telling us what time is. You're
Well,
trying
so
to concoct
just to
an
make
analogy, and it's
just to make
not.
things a little bit more
You're
complicated.
struggling.
Time for me is different than for you. So for me, for instance, it is
Peter's pretty high
6:09
right now, so
a.m.
time's a bit different for
For you, it's probably something different. So it's probably not even a thing.
Okay.
But
Do you
I
know
want to hear a
Can we ask this
30-year-old
question?
guy explain
Let Bubble answer.
how time doesn't exist.
Bubble.
Go ahead, Bubble.
Okay, you just need to tell us what time is, and don't do it in an analogy. Just tell us. Tell us what you're saying. It's not a thing.
Time
you're
is-
saying we experience it. Tell us what it is. Go ahead.
Time.
Tell us.
It's a centrifugal divergence.
Oh, I
It's a
get it.
what?
now. Cool.
I have one
well,
of those in
that
my
clears it up.
backyard.
See
That
how
clears it up.
like
Thank you, Bubble.
see how
sorry.
it's. I'm trying to make it simple so you guys understand it. If I just tell you what it is,
Simple.
yeah,
Just because
it's-
Smokey's
I-
too dumb to get it
divergence.
doesn't mean you
I,
know.
I can tell you what it is, but it doesn't help you understand it.
It's a centrifugal divergence. Would it
Yes.
change if the Earth stopped rotating?
That's the thing. Okay, when you put here's a good example. When you put somebody closer to Earth and then somebody further away from Earth, I think the person who is further away ages slower.
Yes, they do.
Time dilation.
That's because
That
of
has to do
gravity,
with
my
movement.
friend.
Has
Yeah,
to do with
time-
movement
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
and gravity,
No,
not.
That is true, but
Not-
that means time is still a thing.
Can I ask my
No,
question?
That
yet?
means time is still a thing, right?
All right, go ahead. Ogre.
You just proved that time is a thing.
I don't
No,
think Peter's
I
gonna let
proved
me
that
talk.
divergence is a thing.
Go ahead,
Divergence.
Ogre.
No.
All right,
No.
Ogre, all you.
Yeah,
Time
go
is
ahead.
not a thing.
Hold on.
Okay,
Let
okay.
me ask Bubble.
We're going to have to mute everybody except Ogre.
Wait.
And Soldier Science,
mute everyone.
then go
Hey,
after him.
Smokey
Just
twice.
think about it, and then we'll go.
Okay.
All right, my question's simple, Olga. I mean, shit. I gotta figure this. My question's simple, Bubble.
Yeah,
Do you have a YouTube channel that I
I
can
do.
subscribe to?
Yeah.
All right, could you please put it in the main chat and side chat? Because I feel like I want to make a response video to you. Because I
Oh,
love you.
Yeah.
and I want to touch
I'm
you.
curious. I'm curious. When did you make that bubble? Never mind.
I actually have a video
post
that
it someplace, Bubble. I want to subscribe to you.
I actually have a video that you can see that I like. Very
Yes, give me all of that, please. I want that. Post it someplace.
Private chat that. I'll sub.
If I type Bubble into YouTube, I don't think I'm going to find you.
You should.
No.
Well, Bubblegum Corp. Then you should be able to find me.
Put it in the side chat. That's too much work for me.
Put bubbles plus space time.
Bubble time is not a thing.
No, if I do space time, it's going to take me forever to type that.
Put it in side chat. Just take your time. Oh wait.
So can I ask Bubble the crux of this whole argument?
So
about
actually,
time?
yes. Give me one. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask the question. He's going to answer, and then we're going to get Mark reading. But floor is all yours, Soldier Science.
Okay, thank you. Here's the crux of the entire argument here. Was there a spot where God, or what you believe, even if it's a deistic God, that existed outside of time, that didn't experience time, then create a point where there was time that existed? And if that is the case, what did that God that existed before that time it created, what did it exist in? What was its experience?
God exists outside the universe. He is not subject to the laws of entropy and thermodynamics. Also, time doesn't exist. Time is an attribute of centrifugal divergence. It is centrifugal divergence. It is an attribute of this magnetism of the Earth.
So doesn't it exist off the Earth?
Huh?
So what's your source for this?
Let me see. Where does this come from? I know the ether things comes from Tesla, Faraday, but this one.
Okay, do you know when Tesla and Faraday, what time of year?
Oh no, this comes from. I think it was a Science Asylum. Science Asylum. It's a YouTube channel.
How many years ago did Tesla and Faraday live? Do you have any idea?
Who cares? They were like the greatest.
Who cares? Because we've learned a lot more since they've been alive.
No, we didn't. We got worse.
Oh, okay. You're right. Sorry. Wow.
Before Mark comes in, can I say that I did my master's degree in magnetism? So I would love to talk magnetics as well because I know a decent amount about it. But that's all I got. All right, Mark Reed.
Thank you. Ogre.
Are you telling us that when someone asks the question, magnets, how do they work? You're the person to come to?
The answer that will take way too much time.
But time isn't a thing, so that doesn't mean anything. Ogre.
Because Tesla said it, supposedly.
So remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you are late for work, just look at your boss and say,
exactly.
What is time?
What really is time?
It's an illusion. God
exists outside the bubble.
He's nice. And I want you to say,
time is simply a measurement.
A measurement of
what is it a measurement of?
Right.
What do clocks measure?
It's a measurement of atomic decay.
If it's not a thing, measurement how can it be a measurement of something?
Decay.
Bubble. If it's not a thing, how is it a measurement of something if it's not a thing?
Because it's conceptual. It comes from the mind.
But you said it's not a thing, so how is it a measurement?
Because it's an abstract. It's a social construct.
Time is a social construct?
I think it's time to get Mark in.
Wow. So I will say,
Mark Reed.
As always, we love views that, basically anyone that Bird is like, no, I'm having such a no. We're sending love, We actually love the stuff. I know, definitely James and I, when we hear views,
we can't get enough of it.
I know it's
like our
mental cocaine.
Call me skeptical.
They used to call it cocaine. What are we going? Just kidding. Let's go on to Mark Reed.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, how you doing, kids?
Hey, Mark.
Doing? All the cool kids are here.
That's right. We've been asking ourselves.
Someone who also crossed towards
biblical cosmology versus Big Bang cosmology, and we also had a debate with Leophilius versus Kent Hovind, 15-foot whale himself. What are your thoughts about?
It's not a thing.
I haven't seen the debate. I got to admit, and I was sort of out today, so I didn't see the rest of the show. I didn't even know it was on. It was crazy. So I just come back. I don't have a lot of time, I must admit. So I'll be quick.
It's not a thing, Mark. Don't worry about it.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm I must have something. Not a lot of something that doesn't exist. So
Thank you.
yeah, I've got to take my wife to lunch, but I will. I just want to ask Bubbles some stuff because this is just too much to let go. It's just too much. I have questions. I have questions. So one of the things that just amazes me is we've got a centrifugal divergence now. And my first question is divergence from what? Like you don't just get divergence by itself. Something diverges from something else, right? So a normative, progression or some kind of standardized thing, and then you divert from it. And the other question I had is what causes this divergence, and what does that even mean to divert a centrifugal divergence? Because a centrifugal is a rotational force in physics, right? It's the tendency for something rotating in three-dimensional space to exert an outward force. So how does that tie into time? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's word salad. And if time comes from the mind, then essentially if it's conceptual, then what Bubbles is saying is that if no minds exist, then there wouldn't be any time. No time would pass. The universe would just be static and just motionless, nothing, no events occurring at all. And I'd like to know how he justifies that.
Oh, he does.
Thank you so very much, Mark. And all right, going back into open discussion. It's all you, Bubble.
Well, this is getting into some echo again. Okay. There is like no going back in time. There's only the now. Okay. What we are observing is decay, and that is not time. There's nothing. What we call time is merely us watching things decay, an event leads to another event, but there's no going forward in time or there's backwards in time. There's only the now. There isn't these layers, of like stacks of books or like a book, and you have these layers of pages of time.
Nothing happened before now.
It is only one page. There's no multiple pages.
Well, we're going forward in time. We're all going forward in time at roughly 1 second per second.
No, saying going forward in time or backward in time, it's like saying you're flipping through pages of books. No, there's only one paper.
You can flip through pages of books.
Yeah. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying that's like saying,
I can do it right now if you want. I can flip through pages of books.
Yeah, no, you could do that, but that's like saying, but the universe isn't. Yeah, no, I'm saying it's not. I'm saying it's not this book you can flip through. It's one page and one page only.
Well, so we can.
I can flip.
We can actually see you being born, Bubbles, right now.
Yeah, but you're not flipping through pages. It's an event.
No, but we could see you being born right now, and we could see you die as well because there's no time.
Yeah, but that doesn't prove time. You just proven causality. Yeah, causality exists.
Where do I look? Where do I look to see you being born?
You don't flip through pages of a book. It's an event that happened.
I'm not asking what I'm not doing. I'm asking what I should be doing in order to see you being born right now.
Who wants to see him on his bed, dude?
I don't feel like Mark's first question was answered. I don't feel like Mark's first question was answered. It was with the centrifugal, what is it, divergence? What is it diverging from? You said that as a statement, as an explanation. I don't feel like you actually explained that at all. I feel like you completely dodged that question.
Or know what it means.
No. Well, centrifugal divergence, for example, like again, I'll give the example. The reason we have people like you have a person closer to Earth and a person further away from Earth, and they'll age at different times, it's because of that divergence. And so what is causing this divergence is some sort of magnetism.
It's not magnetism.
Okay, you keep saying divergence, but you're not saying diverging from what?
Go me turn. I want to play.
Go ahead. I love when you play.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Bubble, how do you think someone explains what you just said with time. Like, how do I explain that in my paradigm? The distance from Earth and the aging thing.
Okay.
How do I explain that?
Okay, if time is real, then time should be constant across the universe. So why is it bending like this?
So you don't know how time bends in my paradigm.
Time is not constant.
No,
It's
it's
relative.
not. It's relative. So
You
when
don't
you
seem to
say
understand how time works in my paradigm,
When
which I
you
think
say-
is part of the problem.
when you say centrifugal divergence, then you really mean electromagnetic divergence,
Yeah, you
right?
said.
If it's then where does a centrifugal come into it?
Yeah, the Earth.
The Earth. Oh, Jesus.
The Earth.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wow.
So you think the force of rotation
No,
causes
the magnetism.
force,
The magnetism of the Earth.
but that's not centrifugal force.
It is.
No, it's not.
How is that central? Do you know what centrifugal force is?
Because what magnetism is, what this thing we call gravity, it's just
Oh
acceleration.
shit! My beer fell over.
It's just acceleration toward no point.
And you realize
It's not
of
centrifugal,
course
though.
that time in the universe would exist outside of the Earth. You realize that elements would be passing through the universe at a given moment.
That's decay.
Oh! I got another one.
Decay exists.
Oh, I got another thing. I got another thing for Bubble. Bubble.
Okay.
Bubble, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we can create magnetically shielded environments where there's no magnetic field in them. Does time not exist in a magnetically shielded environment?
No, you can use magnetism to manipulate the aging of animals and plants.
No, you can't.
So if I take away all magnetism, what does that mean for time? Like you can enter a room that has no magnetism in it.
That
What does that mean for time?
cage?
Yes.
I don't see how that
That
would
a
be
Faraday
possible.
cage?
Well,
From
I work.
Faraday.
I've done magnetism research personally. I've worked in magnetically shielded rooms because the samples I dealt with were so magnetically weak that the Earth's magnetic field would affect them. So
Okay.
I've worked in magnetically shielded environments where there is no magnetism in a room I can live in. I can work in a room with no magnetism.
Or they stopped aging for a few hours. Or something.
No, wow.
Are you
What
saying
does that mean to you?
I think it found the fountain of youth. That's what happened.
Are you saying you stop decay?
Yeah, there was no magnetism in the rooms I've worked in.
So you stop
But
decay.
there was gravity.
Like
Stop
magnetic?
decay.
Well, magnetism doesn't
Better
like
than
decay,
refrigerators.
but no, there is no measurable magnetism in these rooms. You say magnetism and time are connected. If you take away magnetism, does that mean you take away time? And if you add magnetism, does that mean you add time? Because
Right.
ARM and hysteristic magnetic remnants adds magnetism to materials. You can add magnetism to something. So does that mean you age it when you add magnetism to something?
There is no aging. There's decay.
What?
Oh my god.
I don't
Am I over your head,
understand.
Bubble?
I have to
I'm
ask
over
this
that.
again. How old are you?
30.
Well,
Don't do it, Peter.
I actually have a different
I
question.
love it. I love it that you actually have an age when you just stated that there is no aging. But carry on.
Yeah, because
My question
Yeah,
for
I think
you,
I went
Well,
over.
they
Sorry if I went over your head, Bubble. I didn't
Well-
mean to do that.
Well, all you're saying is
Go ahead.
decay. Like, I'm not
Did
denying
you-
decay.
Orge, do me a favor. Next time you go to one of those chambers, leave a Subway sandwich behind. Come back in a couple years and let me know. Let's see what type of experiment.
I
we have.
feel like Family Guy did this joke with a pickle already.
Probably.
Bubble, if we had to verify, or what would it take for you to prove yourself wrong? Like, what would it take for you to be like, oh man, I was wrong about this whole ether thing?
Well, I mean, I explained to you. I was asking, like, because I proved it to you already. I can prove you
Good
the
point.
ether.
Sorry.
I can prove you the ether.
But see, that's a different
Prove
that's
the
a
ether.
different question.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what would it prove to me? What would it take for you to come across and be like, oh shit,
Okay.
I was wrong
Maybe
about
time
this
is the
ether
Okay.
thing.
Prove
I've got a
that.
question when
Okay,
we get a chance.
I can answer that question. Prove that light is a particle or wave that duality?
Light is a wave.
That is a two-quay fallacy. It's basically whataboutism. Yeah, it is.
No,
it's whataboutism.
no,
It's basically, well,
what
I can't prove what I'm saying, but you can't prove this other thing, so therefore we're equal. It's a logical fallacy.
No. If scientists are
It
saying
is.
if scientists are saying this is what it is, prove that it is. If it's not what,
No, we're not talking about light. We're talking about your thing. You are just trying to distract by going to something else.
Light is.
Yes, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm not.
Keep the subject on what you're talking about.
I am on the subject.
No, you're not.
Light,
No, you're not.
Light is related to ether.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Yes.
so what methodology
yes,
did
so
you
hard.
use to analyze this ether and show that it exists? What methodology did you use, and how can you tell that methodology is reliable?
Because it's reliable because light is not a
Well,
wave part.
firstly,
No.
what's your methodology? What's your methodology, firstly?
My-
What is the series of steps and processes that you went
Okay.
through to confirm that you're actually talking about something in reality?
Okay, because first step is like that light is not a wave particle duality. Light is not a particle wave duality. This is false. This is a Turing.
Okay.
You have
I have another
consciousness
So
wrong.
what methodology did you use to determine that it is false? What series of steps did you do?
Okay, the simple fact that like through the law of conservation of energy,
Still
for
don't get
example, you didn't even let me
Let him finish.
say
Let him
anything.
finish first.
Oh my god, it's just so annoying.
Go ahead, Bubble.
Yeah.
I'm listening,
Okay.
Bubble. I'm listening.
So when like for the law of conservation of energy is a good example. When light goes through, let's say, glass or water, it slows down, and then when it leaves that glass or water, it leaves that medium, it speeds up again. If it was a wave particle duality, this is violating the laws of physics. So this clearly states it's not a wave particle duality. It's something else.
Let me interrupt you guys for a second. I want to send hearts to you, Brainbug. Did you want to have an outro or anything?
Oh no, it's you all continue your conversation. It was
It was good to see you, Brainbug.
yeah,
Thanks
it's
for
good
coming
to
on,
see
See
everybody.
you.
I love you, Brainbug.
Yeah.
Love you, Orge.
I know.
Brainbug, I would say I'd love to see you another time, but
Can't do that,
that
Peter.
wouldn't
Damn you.
work.
Don't do it.
Yeah, we can't.
Did you get that, Mark?
Night, Peter.
Yeah, so
Thank
it's
you very
Check
much.
out Brainbug's channel.
Yes, please.
why don't physicists who are using solid and reliable methodologies believe that it's violating the laws of physics? That the behavior of light is definitely within the laws of physics, right?
They don't know what light is.
They don't know what light is.
Oh,
No. They
Okay,
have,
so-
they have,
wow.
Apart from basically just claiming and making a statement that it is violating the laws of physics, you have no methodology, no experiments, there's nothing besides your claim that it
that
is
is
so.
an experiment. That is an
No, it's not an
experiment.
experiment.
That's not an experiment, it's a claim. You just say it is
No.
violating the
Yes,
what
it
presumed
is.
second law of thermodynamics, conservation of energy.
Yes. Why is it speeding it up again after leaving the water?
What?
What?
It's-
Okay. Wait, I think I might be able to answer.
Do you understand why it's a
so-
violation?
Yeah.
Can I try to answer that, please? Can I try to answer that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
So
Ogre.
it's not that the speed of light is changing, it's that as the medium gets more dense, the path the light takes gets more lengthy. So speed of light in a vacuum is because there's nothing for it to go around. When you enter a medium that's more dense, like water or air, there's particles that the speed of light has to go around. Therefore,
I
the
know,
path
that's
is
so
longer.
funny.
Oh my
Therefore, the
God.
speed is
Science
slower.
is so funny,
Mm.
right?
That's bungus. This is saying that light is like bounce around and then like taking
Yeah,
a different
it-
path and then
Well,
goes
so-
out.
That's not
Does.
what he said, and it's not funny.
That's been
Well,
The
debunked.
problem, is, Bubbles, that we've got a massive amount of research to say that physicists are right, and your methodology consists of you claiming that they don't know what they're talking about.
And laughing.
No,
That's
that's
not a
all.
methodology either.
There's-
Yeah, laughing
there's-
is fine.
I'm being very generous with that word, yes.
Gotcha.
But
No, there's
you know
plenty.
that.
There's plenty.
So the problem is when you have just a methodology of I claim this to be true because
No.
they don't know what they're talking about. Anybody can use that methodology to infer almost anything. So as sort of a reductio ad absurdum, I could claim that unicorn farts are what makes up the universe. And I know this because physicists don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
That
This
is
is just going on the deep end.
exactly the same argument that you are using because that is your methodology.
No, it's not.
It's exactly
It
what you're
is.
saying.
No,
It's exactly the
No,
same
it's
methodology.
not. No,
I
I'm
read
why.
Tesla, and I get that unicorn farts make up the universe. And you don't know, and physicists don't know what they're talking about. It is exactly the same argument.
No, it's not, because I'm using testable predictions. They can be
Like what?
falsified.
What?
Yes, these are testable.
Well, see, the thing is, light behaves differently around unicorn farts. And so it speeds up and slows down because of the uniform farts.
Can you actually provide an actual
No,
argument?
this isn't poisoning the well. The argument is
provide an actual
called
argument
a-
as to why.
Yeah, if I could just finish for a second, Bubbles. Let me finish for 1 second, and I'll explain. The argument is called a reductio ad absurdum, right? So if I can place anything into the same argument and make exactly the same sense, including the absurd, it shows that you have no strong grounds to support your argument.
You know, I'd
Okay,
like to send us all back.
No, let Bubbles reply because that's a you know, I did do a fairly hefty accusation towards him.
You did.
Okay,
you did.
there's plenty of scientists who are all switching to the field theory instead of this relative theory of Einstein.
Field theory? What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay,
That's
do you know
what you've described is not field theory.
Yes.
Name one scientist.
Well, that actually.
Are you
leads
talking
me to
about
my
the
question.
electromagnetic universe model?
Oh, I love that.
I don't know
love
what that
the
is.
electromagnetic universe so
Field
much.
Oh,
theory is
ignore me. Don't look into that at all. Like seriously, don't. Please
That
don't.
was also my question.
Thunderbolts
that piggybacks
Project,
off
let's
of
go.
Please let me
them,
finish
and
my
then
reply.
Guys, let me
Don't
talk.
give him ideas.
Can you let me finish my reply? Actually provide an argument as to why light is actually a wave particle duality. Can you prove it?
Well, because sometimes it behaves like a wave, and sometimes it
You're
behaves like a
talking about
particle.
Schrodinger's cat, right? That is what
No,
you're talking about.
Schrodinger's cat
No,
was
That's
made
the
as a
Heisenberg
parody.
uncertainty principle.
Oh, that's the
That was
thing
made as
that Sal doesn't say it.
That was made as
together
a parody to make fun of this wave particle duality.
So this is
No,
what I
no, it
wanted-
wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Hold on,
No, it
this
wasn't. It was basically outlining the inability
No.
to tell the state of a particle until you measure it and then you affect the state.
He made it as a joke because he was
No,
making
he
fun
didn't.
of. Yeah, he
No, he
did. Look it
didn't.
up.
And plus, it's talking about the Heisenberg
No,
uncertainty.
he was
principle.
making fun of it because these atomists couldn't explain this action at
Oh
a
my
distance.
God.
My question for you, Bubbles, bounces off of what some of them were saying was, is there someone you could reference or give us in the past 50 years that is kind of like pushing forward this sort of view?
Of scientific consensus.
Yeah, I can give you a link right now. I can
So
put
if all of these scientists are getting on board this thing, you should be able to give us a plethora of scientists that all are getting on board.
Guys, can I ask one more question? So,
No,
Bubbles,
please don't.
look at the screen. Hold on, wrong button. Can you tell me who that is?
a quack and nobody.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Now
Okay.
I know you're.
So
Yeah.
can you tell me what he did in 1905?
He stole all his.
I can't
things
see what
from
Peter's
the
showing, by the way.
Henry. He stole
It's
his things.
Einstein.
He stole all his things from Henry Poincaré. Look up Henry Poincaré.
Just
He stole
be serious.
everything.
Just be serious. Just be serious. I want you to tell me the name of the guy in my profile picture there. Just say it out loud. It's nothing. No one's going to hurt you.
What do you mean? It's just
spirit
say his
protects
name.
Yeah, Einstein, the guy who stole everything from Henry Poincaré.
Wait. What did Einstein do in 1905?
Steal everything from Henry Poincaré.
What did Einstein do in 1905?
I just told you, stole pants from Henry
He published.
Poincaré.
He published
From Henry
something.
Poincaré. He stole
What did he
it from
publish,
Henry-
Bubbles?
I don't care if he stole it or not. What did he publish?
he
Can you
published-
spell Pompey, please? I'm trying to look him up.
Yeah. I can get
No,
it for you.
Bubbles.
I think he's saying
Bubbles.
potpourri.
Bubbles. I don't have a lot of time, even though it doesn't exist. Can you tell me what Einstein published in 1905?
I think it's theory of relativity. I don't know. I don't care.
It was the special theory of relativity. What did that demonstrate?
Nonsense.
Good answer. I like that answer.
Okay, guys,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I really have to go. I do apologize.
Bye,
I
Mark.
came
We
on.
love you.
I'm really enjoying this. I hate to go.
Mark, you can stick around. Time doesn't exist.
Oh, well, in my universe, time does exist. And, it's sort of the fourth dimensional component of space, and I have somewhere to be. So I have both space and time.
Have a nice lunch with your wife, Mark.
We love you.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Mark.
See you, everyone. Love you guys.
Catch you later, Mark. Catch you later. So the only thing you can do, Bubbles, is just be completely dishonest and not answer any questions.
How about
when
you
I ask you
an actual
questions?
argument of the substance? Provide evidence and proof that
What
is
did the
a
special
particle
hold
duality.
on? What did the special theory of relativity demonstrate in 1905?
How do you spell
Can
potpourri?
you tell me that?
Potpourri. I still don't know.
Yeah, and I don't care.
Here you
I
are.
don't care who came up with it.
I care.
The only one who published it
I'll
was
look this up.
Einstein. So what did it demonstrate? Do you know that?
General theory of relativity. That
Quit like you're accessing it. You don't know what it means.
no, I don't know.
Bubble, please
Okay, great.
spell his last name so I can look him up. I can't find it.
I'll put the link in
Thank
the
you.
private chat here. It's in there. It demonstrated that ether doesn't exist. So where's your scientific paper that that basically proves that Einstein was wrong?
Oh no, yeah, because Einstein was an atomist, correct, Amundo? Atoms don't exist, bucko.
Atoms don't exist.
No, it wasn't.
one
It
wanna
wasn't
work
atoms
with
don't exist. It
I wanna know
was
who this dude
ether.
was.
It was ether doesn't exist.
Because what Einstein's general relativity was working on this Saturnian version of the atom. That
Hey, Amy, real quick, Leo.
This
what's the
little
link he
dog
wants
with
to join?
little.
Hold on,
with little
Bubbles, hold on. Okay, you got. Okay, thanks, Amy.
you have this little dog with electrons, and this is all false.
Prove it.
What is the dude's last name? Spell it for me, for fuck's sake.
Okay, let me get the name.
Do a Google search and find it.
I can't find it because every variation of his last name doesn't come up.
I kind of want to send us back to the whole discussion about.
I literally get a Muppet and crazy Harry when I look him up.
How does the discussion?
Hold on, soldier of science. We can't go back. Time doesn't exist.
Quit cheating.
How does the discussion of photons have to do anything with time not existing, and especially before a God created a universe?
Okay, so answer that question, but then
basically you got two fields of science. There's a relativist and there's the field theorists. The relativists, like the general relativists who are atomists,
I'm gonna go take a
believe
piss. I'll be back. This is stupid.
Who believe the world. Okay, so who believe the world is made of these little BBs, and then there's the field theorists like me who believe all reality is a field perturbation, like all things are light.
Did you know there's a third? Hold on. Did you know there's a third? And I can link you to that.
There's many
Jesus,
more.
Hold on. I'm 100% serious here. Jesus lives in Holland, wrote a new Bible, and in that Bible it states that everything is made out of spaceships. So there is a third theory there. And I can link you to the website. There is an English version of that as well.
Stop poisoning the well.
Guys, Jesus himself. How is that poisoning the well? This is Jesus himself.
I'm not even a Christian.
Guys, we're going to go back to open conversation, but we have the man of the night himself, Leophilius. We are Skeptic and Ranting. Someone today had a debate versus Kent Hovind on the subject of biblical cosmology versus Big Bang Cosmology.
Good job, Leo.
Glad to have you. What are your thoughts? The debate, the subject,
Big
anything?
Dick Leo, what's
on
up, dog?
tacos?
Yeah, Kent didn't do good. I mean, Kent did not do good. The part that got me the most was when I literally I said straightforwardly, Kent, you cannot imagine the expansion of space-time as if the universe is a physical object growing physically larger in some pre-existing space. That's simply not what it is. It is a metric expansion of its scale over sufficient distances. And right after I said that, what comes out of Kent's mouth? Well, if the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into?
That's what you put in on?
Well, no, but that was that moment.
Yeah,
that moment in the debate, I just was like, I don't what? I literally
I'll put
just
a jar in my science center and watch it expand. Watch the jar expand over time.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a pretty good debate, though. I don't think Kent was disrespectful at all. I think his audience that he had in the background laughing kind of made me laugh a little bit too. Some of the questions he was asking were actually not bad questions. But what I think happened is that he got tripped up where he would ask a question that sounds absurd and then realize that I actually have a legitimate answer to it that's totally not absurd. Like when he said, so can I take the space-time and put it in a jar?
Yeah.
Well, technically, yes, you can. I mean, so what's up?
Did all the super chats go to his legal fund?
That is a question I do not know.
And Leo, I will say that was the thing that I picked up on. Like I was saying before, the funniest thing to me in the debate was that the audience, I think, worked against him. Is that they'd laugh because it's something he'd say something that would sound silly, but then you would explain it. And he would be left with like a crickets moment where that laugh all of a sudden just seems like, damn, it looks like he's the idiot.
That was my point. I mean, if even one person walks away from that debate just starting to like ask themselves questions and look things up, then I've succeeded. That's the whole reason I did this. That's why I debated who I debated on the channel that I debated them on. This wasn't for Kenton. This wasn't for standing. This was for educational reasons. And I hope, I pray to the God that doesn't exist, that I pray to great science.
No,
I pray to nature.
Pray to the ether.
It's a great.
Don't get me started. I'm waiting to get there. But go ahead, soldier.
We have someone on this panel.
I was going to say it's a great moment.
Time is not.
It's a great moment in history when people look on the internet and look at these types of videos and go, "Why the fuck did these people believe in these people like Kent Hovind?" You know, or this dude who created an arc in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like this is great for you historically, Leo. It's amazing. Like before this fraudulent trickster of a person used his wife and abused his wife and tried to prove that gravity isn't real, you know, apparently by slamming his wife to the ground. This is great. This is great for you, Leo. I think it's amazing. It's going to be a time in 5 years from now, you know, 6-year-old children are going to be writing reports about that time when people believe
Dinosaur Adventureland, hopefully not.
Yeah. Dinosaur Adventureland, you know, arcs and stuff. You know, people believed in this stuff, and Leo was a warrior in this upcoming adventure of destruction. Thank you.
Every punch that, well, not really punch, but every punch that he pulled, I mean, he does the same thing in every single debate. He's got his little audience there in his room. He's got the slides up that are always changing. He just, he's trying, and that was the thing. He tries to ask all these sorts of questions, try to pin you down, and he didn't realize that I actually had legitimate answers to the questions he was asking. I just hope that And after this, you can take me off full screen because there are some questions I have for Bubbles, if I may.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, thank you.
Well, I do have one important question for you.
We don't know. We don't know if we have time for that, Leo. Oh, sorry.
Probably, but yeah.
Well, time's not real.
The final thing is that, well, it very much is. The final thing I wanted to say, or that I hope is the case, is that my introduction wasn't too much I hope it wasn't too much too quickly.
It was great.
I don't think it was. Both my grandmother and my mother watched it, and they said it wasn't. You
did a good job.
Much too quickly.
Well, Leo, I think there's only one criticism when it comes to your entire presentation: too many big words.
Too many.
I wouldn't mind commenting on Leo.
That's going to be a thing because you are going to be whacked as an atheist some Wednesday,
That's
and
the badge
they will
of honor.
tell you that you used big words to impress.
Yep.
That's going to be their criticism, because I think 90%, even more, went straight over his head. You did a brilliant job. Thank you so much for this.
Well, words over 3 syllables that they have problems with, so remember that.
Leo, it's been a long time, Leo, since we've had a rendition of Dick Math. So we need to know how many plank can you fit in a 15-foot whale penis. Thank you, Leo.
Oh, that's hard.
That's what she said.
The first place we would have to start is converting feet to meters.
God, what about light years? Because that's not a thing.
You know what? I'm not even going to try to do this right now. What the fuck are you trying to do?
Look, we always need dick math. And
Dick
moving
math.
on.
And segue right into Bubble. All right,
If
dick math and Bubble.
If I could say Leo real quick, I think assuming that Kent didn't know that you would have legitimate responses is
I'm still here.
Not correct, because he didn't care what your response would be. He'd still follow a script.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, he tried to follow a script.
Yeah. Well,
to be fair, you could see Kent hesitating at times when Leo actually did have an answer, and he didn't immediately have a reply to that. So yeah,
I think you're granting
noticed
Kent
that
Hovind.
happening.
I think you're giving Kent Hovind too much credit by assuming that he hasn't heard what you've said, or that you've caught him off guard.
He has not. I'm sorry. Kent has not heard what I've said. The only place that he's heard anything that would be close to it, or probably a little bit above it, would be his debates with King Crocoduck, who actually is getting or I think has a PhD in physics, and those have been 4 years ago. Yeah, Kent. This is a subject Kent doesn't touch frequently. He doesn't do. There's a reason why most creationists don't really touch physics a lot, because it involves a lot of math, and young Earth creationists are absolutely trash at math.
I don't know, Leo. I think you lost when you couldn't tell him what color space time.
Yeah.
When he asked that question, I was like, "What?" And then I had to break it down. Like, well, this is what color is. This doesn't apply to space.
Give me a jar of space and paint it purple. Give me a jar of
What
space
does
and
space
paint
time
it purple.
taste like? What does it
The
taste
most
like?
important question of the evening, Leo, is: are you going to open up a web store, and are you going to sell expanding jars to put space time in?
Maybe I think I should. I'd get the creation. Okay, so I do want to
wine shirts.
I do want to jump in here. Bubbles, you mentioned something about field theory. Which kind of field theory are you talking about?
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, Bubble. Let's do this.
Get the popcorn, bird.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Bubble, by the way. He's got a YouTube channel. I subscribe to it.
Clearly the field of ether.
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what Higgs boson is?
Yes, I do.
That's the
Higgs boson comes from the Higgs field. The Higgs field. What do you mean by ether? What is an ether?
Okay, tell me what is a wave particle duality? Do you believe in this?
What you mean? What is wave particle duality?
Do you believe in this?
Yes, I do. I can actually demonstrate its reality with an equation. Would you like me to?
Okay. Can you further explain how do you have this action at a distance? Explain that.
How do you have action at a distance? You mean You mean non-locality?
Actually, whatever you want to call it. How do you have this action at a distance?
Well, because it's not actually action. That there isn't like an effect that is happening between the things There isn't like a causal connection there. That's not like things like entanglement. No, that's not a causal connection. That's not how that works.
So you don't believe in action at a distance?
Well, no, action at a distance happens. It's just that it's not action that's happening at a distance.
That's the name for it.
No,
yeah, that's what they call it, but that's not what it means. Just like we call it wave-particle duality, technically speaking, they're just always waves. We can just localize their waviness, so to speak, such that, we like within a standard deviation, such that we can make meaningful statements about particular observables that define what this thing is.
So
that's what we call a particle.
So you believe? So you're talking about entanglement.
You believe these little BBs are interconnected?
What is a little BB? I don't know what that is.
You said wave-particle duality. You believe this wave-particle duality?
He means atom.
Colloquially, yes, but wave-particle duality is a bit of a misnomer, as I literally just explained.
Well, that's what they call it, okay?
Yeah, you're right. That is what they call it. And I'm almost essentially conceding your point that what they call it is a little bit of a misnomer, because particles, what we mean when we say particle is just a localized wave. It's still a wave.
Okay, so you admit it's not a particle.
Well, no, particles. Well, it depends. What do you mean by particle? Because what physicists mean by particle is a localized wave.
What I mean by particles is what physicists mean by particle.
What physicists mean by particle is localized waves, and if we can localize waves, and we can and we do all the time, then they're particles. That's why we call them particles.
So anything's a localized wave. Huh?
Well, I don't know what that means.
Okay, so are you saying that? Let's say any sort of matter is a localized wave.
Oh, Jesus.
It depends on what you mean. When, like, are you talking about measure? How are you measuring? At what scale are you measuring the object?
It doesn't matter.
Actually, very much it does, because if I measure this lighter at the classical scale and I set it on my table, I can measure it every second for God knows how long, until there is just no longer an Earth, or until something with enough mass comes along. It won't move off this table. It will stay upright on the table. But and this is extremely conceptual, and bear with me here because this doesn't really make sense what I'm about to say. But if we shrunk down to the quantum level, this lighter might all of a sudden end up on the other side of the fucking room, just randomly. So no, yeah, it matters when we talk about scale in reality, because reality does not behave the same on different scales.
No, I'm saying, is that lighter a wave?
Is the lighter a wave? No, the lighter is a lighter.
But is it not made out of particles?
It's made out of particles, yes.
So did you not just state that particles are waves?
Yeah, each one of them individually is a wave. Yes, the whole lighter is not. This again, this is the distinction between the classical and the quantum. There's a thing that we call the Heisenberg cut, which is more of a gray area than a line between the classical and the quantum level of reality. And you're trying to say, well, we can describe something this way in the quantum level, so can I do that with the classical level? No, that's not how reality works.
How are you defining particle?
I define particle, it really depends. Which source would you like me to use? Because we can define a particle in a variety of ways. If you want to know how I would define a particle within the context of this discussion, I would just describe it as a localized wave.
So it's not real then? You're saying it's not
real?
Well,
it's real, yeah. We can measure it. No, it's described by equations of... Wait, how can you describe something by equations of motion if it's not real? I can't describe a unicorn with equations of motion because they're not fucking real. But I can describe particles with equations of motion.
No,
so obviously, also particles stand in causal relations. Particles stand in causal relations.
Describing something.
You realize that? Do you know what that means?
No.
To say that particles stand in causal relations.
No.
Why?
What that means is particles can cause things to happen. Things that can cause things to happen, i.e. they stand in causal relations, are things that philosophers call concrete objects. Concrete objects almost universally would be considered real.
So you're just saying that matter is just frozen light. That's what you're saying.
I have no idea what that even means.
Yeah, wow, that is ridiculous.
Okay, but the thing is,
are these waves concrete? Yes or no?
You still are the waves concrete? Yes.
And what do you mean by that? Are they just?
What I mean by
you asked the
concrete is they
question.
stand in causal relations.
So they don't exist. They're just
wait.
frozen.
It's something that stands in causal relations is a concrete object. How could something not be real but cause things to happen? Shit, dude, the number 3 is real and it still can't cause things. The number 3 doesn't cause anything. It's abstract, but it's still real. So you can have things that are real and abstract where they do not stand in causal relations with other objects, or you can have things which exist and are concrete where they do stand in causal relations.
Then
that would be the things that we describe with physics.
And now you just said that matter is just of the mind.
Matter is concrete.
Of the mind.
That would be abstract. Abstractions are of the mind. Concrete things are things that are physical. Well, physical things are given as concrete.
Are these ways physical?
Yes.
Are they? Can you prove that?
Define prove. What do you mean by prove?
What do you mean define prove?
Well, I mean, because I could form some sort of rudimentary deductive argument, which would be
so
a
you mean
logical
a
proof.
lie?
I mean, I don't know how you're taking the word proof to mean here. I would need to know that. What do you mean by proof? Do you want like a rigorous mathematical axiomatic proof, like a set theoretic proof? Do you want like a deductive syllogism? Do you want just like something that convinces you? What do you mean by proof?
I'm going to ask you the same question Darth asked you. Have you observed these particles?
Yes.
You have observed these particles with your eyes.
No, you can't observe part. You can't observe part. Wait, do you think observe means only with your eyes?
Doesn't matter.
Wait, no, that doesn't. That literally matters. Can you observe things? So a blind person can't like observe music? Is that what you're saying?
No. Have you? What are instruments?
Wait, hold on. Can you see music? Can you see music with your eyes?
No.
Okay, but you can still observe it, can't you? You can still listen to it, detect it, understand it. It's still a thing that exists in reality, and it's physical, and it causes things like electrical signals in your brain that can stimulate feelings or nostalgia or a variety of things.
You're saying you cannot observe these. You can't physically look at them.
My lord, hold on. You really and I'm genuinely not trying to be mean, but I don't think you're following what I'm saying. Okay.
And all you're saying is
I'm asking you. Bubbles. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you can only observe things with your eyes?
And I'm saying you're being very disingenuous when I'm saying observation.
Answer the question.
Whatever.
I asked you a question. I didn't make any statements about your character or what you said. I just asked you a question.
Of course not. But when we're when we're talking about matter, it can be observed with your eyes. So why can't you observe these fundamental particles with your eyes or whatever scientific instrument?
Would you like an answer to your question?
Because I know why. Yes,
why?
It's the way.
Explain to me why you can't observe them with your eyes directly.
We both agree it's a wave. A wave of what?
Every moment of this.
A wave of what? It is a perturbation of probability within a quantum field.
Perturbation of probability. What is this probability?
Perturbation, not
this
probability.
Didn't you just use that word at the beginning? Yes. Did you just describe light that exact way, Bubbles?
Yes, but perturbation of what?
Spell that word, Bubbles, because you're not saying it right.
Say it again. Look, we both agree it's a perturbation. I'm going to say it. We both agree it's a perturbation.
Yes.
I'm saying it's a perturbation.
Yeah.
Perturbation. It doesn't matter. Jesus Christ. It's a perturbation. Perturbation of come on. You got look, Bird. You don't
have any salad, Bird.
It's not perturbation.
Hey, I
didn't say perturbation. I said perturbation. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Perturbation.
Hey, Leo, let me give me 5 seconds, please, Leo.
So what I'd like is we got about 30 more minutes of open mic before we move into outros, but we're having fun, and the ball's all yours, Ogre. It was an absolute blast, as always, having you on.
I go first. I go next.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Bubbles, you never gave me how to spell that fucking hairy dude's last name.
I did. I posted it.
No, you did. Where?
Yeah, he did. It's
Oh shit, you did. Fuck me. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, because I'm still trying to get to the root of the question that I initially asked, which hasn't yet been answered. When you say field theory, which type? There's only 2 types. Which type are you referring to?
The ether.
I don't know what that means. That's not a field theory.
Higgs boson.
So that's not a field theory. So there's classical classical field theory and there's quantum field theory. Do you know what the difference?
Quantum.
Do you know what the difference between those two is?
That one.
Yeah,
do you know what the difference between the two is?
One is atomist, the other one is not.
The one is what?
Atomist.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean? Don't mean?
This is
what an atomist? Do you know
like
that
evolutionist?
An atomist. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Do you know what an atom is?
Do I know what an atom is? Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how like they depict it in the school textbooks with this like Saturn-like depiction?
Yeah, that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, now you say it's wrong. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not what atoms
It's a very
look like.
general type of what it is.
I mean, it's accurate. It gives us an idea of how an atom behaves.
So we agree it's false, right?
But you can describe atoms with classical field theory. So
we can describe.
I'm trying to go back to the question I asked. So are you referring to classical field theory or quantum field theory?
He doesn't know.
The
He doesn't
ether.
know what it means.
I that doesn't answer my question. You said field theory, classical or quantum?
Ether.
I don't know what that means. You're not answering the question. You said, these are your words. You said field theory. Are you referring to a classical field theory or a quantum field theory?
I don't believe in quantum, no.
I don't know what that means. Wait, you don't believe in quantum? What does that mean?
He doesn't believe in time either. So yeah, he's
what is quantum?
Idiot.
How are you defining quantum?
Quantum refers to something being quantized.
He literally doesn't believe in time, Leo.
What this means is that there are wave equations describing particular states.
I got
of
another
systems.
question.
Waves of what? Waves of what?
The states can only
I'm like
come
physically
in.
raising my hand right now. By the way,
So
Leo.
the states come in discrete sets or steps.
Leo.
Like you can't have an in between.
Leo,
So
waves
that's-
of
that-
what?
that-
I'm
that's-
legit
that's
physically
called
raising my hand
holy
as a
fucking
strange.
shit.
Leo, waves
Jesus
of
fucking
what?
Christ, I can't.
Oh, my turn. Is it my turn now?
Well, no, I'm still trying to finish the thing
Damn
I
it.
was initially saying.
Finish your point,
And then
Leo. Finish your point.
Okay,
Leo.
anyway,
Yeah, Leo.
where the fuck was I?
We don't.
Well, it's okay.
No one does.
You don't need to know that because time does not exist. I'm sorry.
Well,
Bubble.
I
I
can assure you, time very much does
Well,
exist,
Bubble
and
says
it
time
can be.
Boo.
Well, Bubbles is wrong and should go open
I-
a book on general relativity
me,
and
I
learn
know.
about what gravitational time dilation
I
is.
know, and he can't
Oh,
even ask
time
you
dilation. Yeah. I
field
agree
theory.
with that.
Which one are you talking
Centrifugal
about?
divergence. I call it centrifugal divergence.
General
It's
or
called time
quantum
dilation.
field theory? Which one is it?
I can't. Yeah, I'm still. Are you referring to classical or quantum field theory?
I mean, obviously, if you have adjectives and descriptives for time, like time divergence, then you are recognizing that time exists. And even if you don't recognize that time exists, then what do you call the passing of the moments that you've experienced in this video this whole time? What do you call the passing of moments that you recall in your brain?
No, Soldier's question sucks. Let me ask my question.
Okay,
Get him, more gay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fuck Soldier. All right. So,
Fuck Soldier.
Bubble.
Let Amy do that.
Fucking awesome.
Oh my.
Bubble. How'd you pronounce that dude's dude's name
Jesus
again?
fucking
What?
Christ!
I posted it on the side chat, man.
No, how'd you pronounce it? I got a question about him.
Protovation.
It's French. Pompare. I don't know. French.
Pompare. Okay.
Wait. No. Hold on. Wait. No. Are you talking? Oh, wait, no.
Harry Pompare.
No, that's Jesus fucking Christ. None of you
Harry
are getting the
Peanut.
name right. It's Henry Poincaré. He's French.
Yeah, that.
What about Poincaré?
It was earlier.
So,
It's also not Poincaré, but
yes, it is.
No,
Yes, it
no,
is.
it isn't.
Oh my God!
No, it
Peter,
isn't.
shut the fuck up. You mustache
Anyway, Bubbles.
motherfucker, okay?
It's how an American.
Hat for 5 seconds and shut up.
It is how an American would
be able to
pronounce
hear.
that. It's not how that is pronounced.
Yes,
I don't
it
care
is.
how the Dutch pronounce it.
No, it isn't.
Fucking matter.
I've heard literally French physicists say it. So yeah.
Bubbles says
that's
he's
right.
all-
Anyway, it doesn't matter who. I can say Poincaré if I fucking want to, and it still doesn't matter.
also not
Bubbles,
point-
Yeah.
it's
what
also
was your
not
point
Poincaré.
of bringing him up?
So
I'm
my
curious.
point of
Yeah.
bringing him up was before you showed up, Leo. We were talking about him for a little
Yeah,
bit.
and
in
I
regards
wanna know why.
Einstein. And
Yeah, he's the
Poincaré-
guy. Einstein stole
Yeah.
the special
Yeah,
theory
I
of
was
One
listening.
has to
relativity.
talk at a
I'm trying
time,
to get
guys.
my
All
point
right, you
here.
all.
I was listening in the car. Like I don't need it. I just want to know why he brought him up.
I brought him up.
It was the guy
no.
Einstein stole the special theory of relativity from.
Jesus fucking Christ. Bubbles, can you tell me why you brought Henry Poincaré?
I want to bring him up.
You just answered.
Because apparently
I just
Bubbles is the
told
one
you.
that initially told it, and I'm asking Bubbles. So if Bubbles, can you answer the
wait.
question I'm
My
directly
turn.
asking you?
Leo.
He answered the
This
question.
is really bad.
really
Holy
trying to
fucking
finish
shit.
my
I just want one person to answer the
Leo,
question.
I just told you that is
It's my
why
turn.
he brought him up.
Joseph.
Yes, that's why.
Okay, my turn. My turn? Yes? Can I talk now?
Okay, Ogre.
Yes, go me. Okay. So, I just wanted to point out that in the Wikipedia page on Poincaré, it talks about
That's
him
not how you
recognizing
pronounce that.
local time. Important metric to why clocks move. So Poincaré himself talks about time.
Yeah.
I just want to bring that up.
Yeah, because
So-
yeah.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to say. Is that your dude that you like so much that Einstein
No,
stole
I
everything from?
I don't like
himself
Einstein.
believed in
Why would I
time.
like Poincaré?
Can we call him Poincaré? Because that is how you pronounce that. Poincaré.
Poincaré.
That's
all right, that's all
literally what
had.
I said.
I'm way too drunk to be of use.
It's not
It's not
just like
Poin,
Poisson
it's
bracket. It's a
Poin.
Poisson bracket. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm just
Poin.
saying it. I'm not
Poin.
enunciating it the same way you are, but I'm still saying it because that's how a
Poincaré.
French person would do it. Anyway,
Well,
so
and
Bubbles,
Mike-
why were you bringing
Yeah.
him up?
Let's get over linguistics.
Because it's the guy Einstein
can't I get
stole
a
the
direction
special
from Bubbles?
theory of relativity from.
That never
three
happened.
times.
So like this is just a fictional
what
story.
Bubbles
Bubbles.
says.
No,
that
is a
is
fictional
why
story.
he brought him up.
That's why he brought him up. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
he
I
said.
know. I want Bubbles to answer the question I'm
You wanted
asking.
Bubbles.
Oh,
Yes,
for fuck's
That's
sake.
why.
Leo
It's
wants
why.
bubbles. That's why I heard.
Yes.
Leo wants bubbles.
What
What was why?
what the Dutch guy said?
What did he say?
You just
That,
call him Dutch guy? That's rude.
Well, he is Dutch.
Well, I am Dutch, so that's hardly an insult.
So I'm just
It's
gonna
an
start
insult.
calling. I'm just
It's
gonna
an
start
insult.
calling Peter the Hollander.
You can call
That is
American
an insult
burgers.
because I might be Dutch, but I'm not a Hollander.
Exactly.
Hollanders are the people that live in the part of the country that's going to be drowned first because of global warming. I'm on the
Bubbles,
safe
answer
part of the
question so we
country.
can move on.
But
Please.
no,
Yeah.
so
Ironic
what?
name
No, wait,
for
hold
some
on.
Highlanders.
What? I'm still trying to figure out which type of field theory you're using because that was the initial question I asked.
Oh my God! Why are we all over the place?
Okay,
I'm
I
not
don't
trying
want
to
to
go
go
back
I
to
want to
the
continue this
original.
conversation for like 5 hours.
I want to
So
know what you
I
have to
think
say
I
about
think
it,
I can
Leo.
answer that for you too, Leo. Out of
Jesus
left
fucking
field. I
Christ.
think that
So
that
let-
probably covers it.
Oh,
So
my
Leo
Lord.
just
Oh,
asked
boy.
Bubbles a question. Bubbles is
did.
going to answer it, and then I have a question
hope.
about Bubbles about Leo. So answer question, Bubbles.
Okay.
I like where this is going. Let's do this.
I'm just gonna go with neither. And can
Okay,
you?
then I don't know how you're mentioning field theory if it's not classical or quantum because
Okay.
there is no other
Not
kind
gonna-
of field
Can we
theory.
go
I'm gonna ask you. I got a question for you, Leo. Waves of what?
Waves of what? Probabilities existing as
Proba-
perturbations in fields of energy.
Probability is not a thing.
Yes, it is.
It's a probability. It's just a maybe of something. A maybe of what?
Probability is
A
a
maybe
way
of
of
what?
statistically measuring things, and we do it all the time in physics and in
What
economics.
is this? So you're saying you can't define what this is?
So wait, oh Lord, you don't know what probability is. Oh,
What is being perturbated, Leo? What is being perturbated?
the field? The field.
What field? What field?
Well, it depends. Are you talking about the quark field? Because then it would be the quark field. Are you talking about the gluon field? Because then it would be the gluon field. Are you talking about the electron field? Because then it would be the electron field.
This
Or are
is
you
all
talking about the Higgs field? Because then it would be the Higgs field. Which field are you talking about?
Higgs fields.
None of those is
They're all
your
the same thing.
No, they're not.
They're all the same thing.
I mean, they're all the
Fuck
same
my
thing in that they're all
ass, man.
quantum fields, but they're not all the same quantum field.
I'm an
Obviously.
idiot, and I know that's not true.
It's still referring to.
He is
the
an
Higgs
idiot.
field.
That is true.
And
What
so
is
I'm
this?
gonna.
Is this?
Please, Amy. Please, Amy.
Is
Go
the Higgs
ahead.
boson an atom?
Well,
It doesn't
Is
matter.
he-
Amy, go
no,
ahead. please.
no.
he asked
Why-
Leo.
what do you
question,
mean?
though.
Is it?
Atoms are constructed of elementary particles. Elementary particles are not atoms. Higgs boson. First off, Higgs bosons are bosons. They couldn't form atoms. Wait, you? Oh no!
There you go. There you go. You said it.
No.
You said it. You said it. I got you. I
Calm down,
got
Bubble.
you. Oh yeah.
This is like a cat. This is like a cat
Okay, no.
Hovind moment.
We're
I don't
gonna have
think
to
you're
back
about
this
to
I
be-
freaking got you. I freaking got
Can you
you.
please mute him? Can you please?
All right,
please
guys.
put him
All right,
backstage.
Bubbles.
Don't
The
do
fuck just happened?
Everybody
Pick your
calm
lap. Pick your
down,
lap for me.
Calm down, Bubble.
because I think you're laughing at
Oh my
Leo
God.
laughing. We're
Shut
both
up.
laughing
We
at
broke-
people
We
laughing.
broke Bubble.
I get, we get it. We both.
Okay.
Oh,
this is really funny.
Yes.
'Cause he thinks he got me.
Okay.
Dude, I can't.
I did.
So,
I did.
okay.
Not get anything.
Jesus Christ.
I got
I'm
you.
not even sure
I'm just
what
trying to
you
wait.
Bubbles. I'm not sure what you even think that you have him for.
Right.
He
So
doesn't-
why don't we
I
just?
do. Oh, I can give
Okay.
you. I can give
So
you. Like
Leo
I can give
is
you a link to the
going
video
to
and
have a
watch-
response, and then Leo, when you're done, tell me, and then I want to ask basically a two of you connected question.
Okay, yeah.
That means nobody else jumped in.
This is funny. He thinks he has me, but I'm laughing
do.
because I knew that he
this
thought
one-
that he had me, but he doesn't at all. The thing that he doesn't have is an understanding of this subject.
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
about all.
No shit. But he can
spin,
understand.
spin statistics theorem.
Why are you saying that?
Oh, okay, so the Higgs boson is a boson. The particles that make up atoms are not bosons. They're fermions. If you understand, I don't know who does, but just to give an example before I dive into the technicalities, anybody who understands video games like RuneScape, or I think even World of Warcraft, games like Diablo, I think, if you understand those kinds of like video games, you will know that there are two ways you can classify consumables or items in those games: stackable or non-stackable. So like in RuneScape, a stackable item is one where if you pick it up, it will go to one spot in your player's inventory. But if you pick up more, it will just tick a number counting how many you have. It's a stackable item. If the item is non-stackable, it will just fill up each individual space in your player's inventory. It's a non-stackable item. Bosons are stackable particles. Fermions, quarks and electrons, which quarks make up protons and neutrons make up atomic nuclei. And obviously everybody should know what an electron is. And if you don't, you probably just shouldn't be listening to this discussion. Those are fermions, and fermions are non-stackable. This is called the Pauli exclusion principle, and it results from the fact that the wave functions of fermions are anti-commutative. So if you were to do a permutation transformation, if you were to just like switch the place of two electrons in an orbital, one will have to gain a negative sign. So in the instance where you would say A and B commute, what you could say is that A plus B equals B plus A. If A plus B equals -1 B plus A, they do not commute. They are anti-commutative. And this is the structure of wave functions for fermions. This is not the case for bosons. This is why bosons can't form particles. They stack. You need particles to be non-stackable to form atoms.
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking
Quick
about. That
question,
sounds-
Bubbles. In your own words, can you
No.
tell us what
Nobody
Leo
jumped in.
just
Wait,
said?
no.
Go ahead, Amy.
Instead of, I actually want to bring it back to the original
can't.
question.
You can't. There is no time.
No one
You
can.
can't go back.
We
No
had
one can. It's
Can't
fine.
go forward either, though.
That's right.
You're stuck right where you're at. Go ahead, Amy. I'm sorry.
So Leophilius didn't catch your opener bubble, in which I was trying to see, we have Big Bang Cosmology over here, and for tonight we've had biblical cosmology on the other side.
Yep.
And you trying to say you're like a third position. You did watch the debate. My question for you, with then a reaction from Leophilius, is what were your thoughts of the debate, and then your position of third in general? So what was your views of the debate, and then what would you say probably here so Leo can respond?
Well, I think Leo won definitely for sure. I mean, that's then again, it's can't. I mean, not going up against much. Not to bring you down, Leo. He did.
No, I mean that's it. Kent Hovind is so, and the thing is, I can get why some people get tripped up by him because you saw what he did to me. Like I said when I first came in, he'll do like a Darth Dawkins thing where he'll just like start asking you questions, hoping to trip you up. And there were moments where he asked me questions thinking he was going to do that, and then I actually gave a pretty solid response, and he was just kind of like, "Oh fuck, what do I do?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw him hesitate a couple of times. So and
he did like straightforward.
Confirmation. He was saying if you were
that
my
is
wife,
confirmation that
down, but
he was stumped, and I'm fairly certain his followers saw him hesitate as well, and were wondering.
That's the
why.
problem. They didn't.
All right, listen, guys, it's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna.
Of course, you're running away. That makes sense.
It can't get late.
I was here.
Hold on. How does it get late when there is no time?
Exactly.
You think I can perceive?
Yeah, explain how it gets late.
Time. What?
Bubbles. Explain how it gets late when there is no time, because I'm still waiting for you how to be able to be 30 years old when time isn't a thing.
Right.
Okay, because one
and how I can watch you being born if time isn't a thing.
That has two answers.
You never answered that.
Well, let me get the answers, because I can perceive attributes of the physical world.
Perceive attributes.
Yeah. The fact that you can perceive attributes doesn't help me in seeing you being born.
Take care.
Thank you for being here.
Leo,
wait, hold on.
Bye, Ogre.
Okay,
Bye, Ogre.
Go ahead.
Bubbles, before you go, Bubbles, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually interested in like diving deep into a discussion about this. There's a series I've been wanting to start on my channel called Justifying Faith. And I was wondering if you would like to be the first one to come on. What I'll do is bring you on. It'll be live. You'll have 10 minutes, a hard 10 minutes to just throw what you have out there. And then after that, we just kind of have, an hour or so, less, more, depending on how things go, of just open discussion about it. And then you get 5 minutes to end it off. And after, so you get the first word, you get the last word. 5 minutes to close it off, and then it's done.
That sounds awesome.
Would you be interested?
Yeah, definitely.
So let me put my email in the side chat for you.
You're getting an actual debate. Good job.
Leo.
I've been trying to get debates with like everyone, and they all keep
no joke. Yeah, we know.
Leo, now you mentioned this. If it's possible for me, if I have the time, although it doesn't exist, but if it's possible, would you like to have a producer for that series?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, then we should get in touch.
Okay, absolutely.
Because you'd need some artwork. You need
an email in the private
Don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Peter already has my email, so
I definitely want to be part of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you could probably help me get people to come on, because the thing is, I haven't been doing a lot of streams, and I've got OBS works good on this laptop. There's other things I need to work out with it before I start. So I've just been using StreamYard for that. So, the
reason I mentioned it,
trap Leo,
the reason I mention it is because if you're going to have conversations like that and you have to juggle OBS, it's going to distract you. So that is why I'm offering my services, so you can do whatever the fuck you want and have someone else take care of how it's going out.
He takes 70%. Don't do it. It's a trap.
And I will say, guys, we're going for about 10 more minutes. Then we're heading into outros and then Discord. But it has been fun. I see Lammy. I see Will Stewart, Tinkle, Mania, Secular Pagan Mom. Just sending J Mike, everybody in there, sending love out. I know. I think we also have to have more debates on Debate Me, Brah. I feel like Leophilius has definitely earned his title now as having to do like number 2. Dum dum dum. He's got to figure out a subject. What's up, Lucy? Lucy, what's up, Organic Jerk? Everybody. And all right, guys, we're gonna do, like I said, 10 more minutes.
And
the subject is Big Bang Cosmology.
Got a question.
First biblical cosmology. Peter, floor is yours.
Yeah. So when it comes to Debate Me Bra, have you contacted Martin and set it up?
Oh, this sounds like something juicy. What's going on?
Yeah.
Wait, is Peter debating somebody?
Who's Martin?
Martin. You know Martin, don't you, Leo?
I don't.
Martin, the guy from South Africa.
Oh, yes, I do.
From who?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I was thinking, so since Amy has this new show, I would love to have a chat with Martin on Debate Me, bro. So
absolutely,
do it, please.
We need to make that happen.
Who's Martin? Let us know.
Martin is a guy. Martin is a guy who believes that demons exist, and he actually sent me he made me a video. And about half of that video is on Ra talking about something that happened to him when he was young. And he used that as evidence for demons / a soul. So he's going to come on our channel as well.
Catholic.
On Ra is going to be a temporary co-host during that show. But I want to talk to him about something completely different, and that's why want to do that on Amy's channel to see if we can have more Debate Me Bros. Because I think
guys,
that's important.
Orgay didn't go to bed. He went to fucking LPP's stream.
Hey, you know what? Sending hearts to LPP. I always wish I could just get John to come on here. None of
that's what she said.
Great creationists. Come on in. Yeah. The water's fine.
That might work.
Amy,
that might work, but you'll have to send me a message up front so I don't show up because LPP's a bit afraid of me and he won't come on the stream when I'm there. Yeah. No, he said that. He said that.
He said he's afraid of you.
Well, no, he didn't say it. That's my take, but he won't come on when I'm on. I ask in difficult questions, I think.
It's not hard to, honestly.
Yeah, no shit. Prove your God. Yeah. Anyhow.
And I tend to impersonate him when I'm on a live stream. So he also doesn't like that.
Your Tangelo is better.
Yeah.
His Antangelo.
Dude, it's good.
Peter's.
I have started making a cartoon, and the first character that I've made is John Maddox.
Oh.
And that's going to be a series.
That would be amazing, Peter.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. It'd make everybody dumber.
That would be amazing, Bird. The amount of comedy you could get out of that.
Down.
The amount of comedy you would get out of that would be well worth it.
What just happened? Oh, hey!
What up, dude,
buddy?
I know.
Job.
I know there's what's going on, but I just wanted to ask: did anybody see the William Lane Craig and Sean McDowell?
No,
talk?
No one cares.
No. That really doesn't sound. What was it interesting?
Well, yeah, because it seemed like William Lane Craig is
the talk on Adam.
Yeah,
I watched a bit of that.
It seemed like William Lane Craig is turning into an atheist.
Well, no, I guess you could consider him something of an old Earth creationist. Is what he is.
No, he's deconverting. He's totally deconverting.
It's hard for me to consider a WLC a theistic evolutionist because that's like calling Frank Turek a theistic evolutionist, and he's not a theistic evolutionist.
If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it, and
you don't have to.
And even more so, read the comments of all the theists just melting.
But it was William Lane Craig and who?
Sean McDowell.
Sean McDowell. Oh yeah.
Amy, if I may, I'd like to ask somebody a particular question. before
Julie,
we
we got like 5 more minutes, but the floor is yours.
15 feet, son of no.
what? So
Well,
Smokey,
Dick,
I didn't get to hear your opening statements. What did you watch? Did you watch the debate?
I did. A lot of my opening was kind of comical about why are we wasting time talking about the color of space-time, and is Kent really kidding me with some of these questions he was asking? Like, it was kind of like that. No, I think you did good, man. Really. I mean, again, it's Kent, and I'm just, I'm of this set right now where I'm kind of going in on the young earthers on my side too, because I think they're a bunch of duplicitous, dishonest scumbags, and I basically think there's a lot of
hold
people.
back, Smokey.
Well, hold on. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Tell us how
trying
you
to be.
really feel.
I'm trying to be honest with it, and direct.
Well,
but
be honest. Don't lie to us.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that probably believe young Earth just out of state of pure ignorance. They go to church, they hear this stuff, they never study science, they never look up any of this stuff. They just believe it because it's said to them. That's fine. I don't think they're doing anything malicious or trying to be a part of some young Earth cult or something. But then you got the people who proactively evangelize it. You got the Kent Hovins and the Ken Hams and the Standing for Truth and the Nephilim Freeze. And I think when you get to that level where when you're crossing that line where you're now going into the realm of actually researching it to defending it, I think it's impossible to not become a complete and utter blatant fraud and liar. I think you basically have to completely ignore things like evidence, reason, logic, justification, basically poke holes in all of the scientific frameworks that you yourself are claiming, substitute your claim, give you justification. You have to poke holes in all of that and say, well, these things that I like fit me and these things I don't like, I just reject with no real good justification. These people are an embarrassment. I think they're a shame. And it's a tragedy if this is what mainstream Christianity has been recognized as, which is the
Smokey. Am I just a moron? I literally thought you were like a hardcore theist.
I am.
He is a theist, but he's not a. He's an old earther.
I'm an old Earth creationist. So yeah. and I've had some, I've just had some interactions and revelations and issues with a lot of the duplicitous doublespeak, the blatantly standing behind false scientific facts. I mean, I watched Kent Hovind in a debate argue with me that the sun was shrinking. And then I watched Standing for Truth get onto a stream to quote unquote debunk me to defend that the sun was shrinking. And it just blew my mind. It just blew my
So you saw the William Lane Craig argument?
No, I didn't watch that.
Because that was basically what he was saying. That's basically what he kind of destroyed. He destroyed every young Earth creationist hopes and dreams.
Well, good. That's nice.
Yeah, Craig isn't fond of young Earth creationism. Most serious Christian philosophers, pretty much every serious Christian philosopher
there's
is
a great quote.
I mean, he argued the original Adam and Eve and basically pinned it down to a certain species of hominids. Is what it came down to.
There's a great.
It was
quote.
awesome.
There's a great quote by one of my favorite old Earth creationist PhD scholars, Hugh Ross, and he says it's actually more tenable these days to believe in flat Earth than it is young Earth. Like, he actually thinks that
crazy.
Young Earthers are more ridiculous than flat Earthers, and I actually think I almost agree with him at this point.
I put them on the same level. The Young Earth creation is to biology what creation flat Earth.
And they're going to call me an enemy of the faith and a hater of Bible and making Moses a liar and all that.
But you know what? I honestly think that there are more people that honestly believe in young Earth creation because of how they were grown up and programmed versus flat Earthers.
But those people believe it in ignorance. Those people believe it in ignorance and because they're not exposed to anything.
I think most flat Earthers are lonely people who want to be part of a club, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably that's
a good opinion.
Yeah, I can't take.
But he's talking about the professional creationists, the Covins and the Standings, the Otangelos, those who heard the other side, and they just ignorantly continue on with their beliefs.
I have a question for you, Smokey, because it's an inner bet that we kind of have along here. Do you think that Kent Hovind knows better about certain subjects and that he can't adjust? Or do you think that he is as strong as a young Earth creationist? I guess I'm saying, is it completely that is his beliefs? Because he's been told by the best people in the industry.
He's had to explain to him multiple ways.
He's had his own PhD scholar peers that are also youngers come to him and say, stop using this argument. Right. Stop using the argument of the decreasing magnetic field. Stop using the argument of the sun shrinking. Stop
the moon.
Stop, the moon. The moon going away from Earth. Just don't use they're not good arguments for youngers.
Can I comment on something quickly? That just because you just mentioned the moon there, Smokey, and
Jason's beard.
Oh, that moment in your debate. Joe.
Yes, when I literally explained what the Theia collision hypothesis was, and then he said, "Oh yeah, that's like the ejection theory." And he said, well, "No, it's the Theia collision hypothesis." Yeah, that's just the ejection theory. And I'm just like,
yeah, that was rough. Yeah, that was rough.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to be honest and say that someone who is at that point in their career, so to speak, has
career.
Yeah,
Nick.
I mean, they have an economic,
of course,
advantage for sticking with whatever they believe, even if they don't.
I don't think Kent Hovind believes this. I'm going to be honest. I don't.
Well,
I don't. I think he believes in God. I just don't
too far in. He's too far in. I agree.
Here's the thing, Leo. Here's what I think. Here's what I think is really ultimately the solution. He believes that the Earth is young. That is a true thing that he definitely believes. Now, he will assume all the evidence backs up that belief, no matter what, even when it doesn't. And if he gets an argument from you against it, he's just going to assume that he hasn't found the retort for it yet, because he just knows. He knows, like he's breathing air, that the Earth is young. So whatever you give, there is some, even if he doesn't know it, there is some argument out there that fits, and he just needs to concoct it, think of it, find it, all that type of stuff. I do believe he believes it. Now, as to the specific things that he just seemingly pulls out of his ass sometimes, those specific things he probably doesn't in an isolation state believe, but the ultimate thing that he's constantly trying to grift for, he absolutely does believe. He just believes that the evidence will ultimately always back him up. I think that's the solution, really.
See, I think someone like a Sean McDowell is an honest believer in what he believes. I don't necessarily think a Kent Hovind believes in what he believes. I think it's more economically
I certainly think that's true with like Ray Comfort.
Right.
Ken Ham, I don't know, but Ray Comfort, I don't think Ray Comfort.
I think all these guys are at the same mold. They all have a belief system, and then they organize the so-called facts to support their belief system.
It's all post hoc. Yep.
It's post hoc rationalization.
Yeah, young Earth creationism is the biggest post hoc. And actually, Leo, good job, because you kind of nailed him down on that tonight about his justification, and really ultimately his justification. Bible tells me 6,000 years old, so there's my starting.
That was one thing I really tried to hammer him on. Is that then I said it like 2 or 3 times throughout the debate. When I had an opportunity to speak in like some sort of outro or something like that. I think it was like 3 times that I mentioned he doesn't have a model, hasn't presented a model, he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, he that's absolutely right. Throughout the whole debate, all he could do is go after what you were saying and pester you with questions, but he couldn't present any actual model.
Yeah, I tried to keep him on the defense, and I think that even by having him ask me questions, I was keeping him on the defense, because
I think you could. Leo, one thing I think you could have nailed him on a little bit more, actually, and this is an angle you could have played with him a little bit
by saying
whether or not he thought the moon and stars and all that stuff was actually created ex nihilo or created out of existing matter. Yeah. Because then, if he was willing to concede that it was created out of existing matter, which I think he almost should state, then there's no reason for him to disagree with you on the how, as in the collision event and things like that. You could have leveraged that even a little more.
I agree.
Good point. A really good point.
Yeah. It is a good point.
Yeah.
And okay, guys. Oh no, James is going to make actually the final point. No, you're good.
I wanted Jason
to
make
when
the
you're done.
point.
Well, Jason is going to lead our outro.
Okay, because I haven't really heard his thoughts on the debate fully. I don't know if he watched all of it or part of it, or
I watched most of it.
That beard is badass, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm digging the
Little
beard.
goatee there.
Very
Look
professional.
at
Leo.
The thing that I love is the Nephilim free headset.
Yeah.
It's big.
But did you hear where he when he brought up the God stretched out the heavens and look at you could find that in the Bible. If the heavens weren't expanding, that would disprove the Bible. It's like no Christian thought that the universe was expanding until secular science figured it out. And then they just looked at the Bible and said, God stretched out the heavens. Okay, I guess that's what it means. It's just very post hoc. It's just very post hoc and very disingenuous.
Very much so, yes. And the other thing that I'm glad that I hammered him on, just as a final quick point, was when he would say, "Oh, well, that's just a bunch of baloney or something," I would be like, "Yeah, this just isn't a response." I'm wondering if he even has a response. It's like, the stuff like that is what you want to do in a debate. Where it's intellectual, you're not going after their character, you're addressing, their inability to, provide.
But you didn't you didn't attack his character at all.
No,
you didn't
not
make any kind of swipes, which was very.
To be fair, I don't think he did either, from what I remember.
No, he did.
He did either. Yeah, I don't.
Which, you know what? Credit to him for that.
He will in Whack an Atheist when you get whacked. Once he gets out of jail.
He uses big words. He uses big words.
He was on his best behavior tonight.
He uses big words. Gonna pull a fucking Darth Dawkins. Yeah, you're being verbose. That's just
we don't need a community college lecture. Okay,
dude, I missed the opportunity because what I wanted to say, maybe I said it under my breath. I can't remember. But what I should have said is, Darth, if I were lecturing you, this would be like a university lecture of the quality you would get at like Harvard or Princeton or Oxford. So sit the fuck down and listen, buddy. You're learning something.
Not
a university lecture to a preschool. To a preschooler.
College. Outro, Jason, what's up, dog?
And all right, with that, I just want to send. I see.
Good night, Germania.
And I see
good night,
both of you and all of you out there if you're watching.
Duh,
I hope you have a great night's sleep. But if you're still watching and looking more fun, we're moving into our outros before heading into Discord, and
Sleep's
Jason's going to start us out.
Sleep's not real.
And all right, Jason, we have been skeptic and ranting on Big Bang Cosmology versus Biblical Cosmology, a topic inspired by the debate by Kent Hovind and our very own Leophilius. I hope you had fun. And what are your thoughts about the topic, the debate, tacos?
And for straight minds.
Those two.
Yeah, obviously, I'm a big fan of Leo's. I think he did a great job. I thought his presentation was good. I thought his demeanor was good. I thought the material was good. Obviously, his opponent has needless to say, kind of a weird way of presenting his information that's a mix of religiosity and ad homs and whatever. It's everything but and it's pseudoscience. He presents information that seems like it's scientific, in many ways it's not. So I thought Leo did a good job. I thought he did a good job trying to go after him to say, look, you haven't presented a model. What's your model? The couple things I would mention is I didn't like how Kent Hovind.
Yeah,
that's right. Mix these guys up.
Hovind.
Yeah. That how he his questions of Leo and which I thought Leo did an awesome job answering them. He couldn't. He was really stumped on a lot of those questions, but the questions about space-time in a jar and what the color of space-time is, and all these really questions that Leo's what is this question even about, just showed how ridiculous he was. And the last thing I would say is, I've said this about Hovind many times, his tactics of having people laughing in the background, putting his video and presentation combined so he can show information while he's talking or while his opponent's talking, I think is completely disingenuous.
Yep.
And if an honest moderator would call him out and say, you can't have people laughing in the background. You know, to be fair to Leo, you can't have your thing on the screen while you're presenting. But he didn't do, but that's what he always does. But Leo handled it very professionally, very academically. It's what any academic would do. So I thought he did an amazing job. And I'll just stop there. So it was a great job.
Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you so very much, Jason.
We love you.
And all right, we're moving. That's right. Send in many hearts. And hey, I'm saying the beard and hair combo. I can't help
Give
it.
him a hug, Bert.
I'm always giving a good look.
Oh yes.
And
I come here just for Amy. So
sending so many, and see, that just made my whole stream. And all right, we are moving right down the line. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
And Smokey Saint. We have been skeptic and ranting on biblical cosmology versus Big Bang cosmology, a debate inspired by Leophilius versus Ken Hovind. I hope you had a fun time tonight. And what are your final thoughts?
Well, thank you, Amy. Yeah, I did have a fun time. It was nice hanging out with you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for being so accommodating. Thanks for the hospitality.
Thanks for coming in with us, heathens.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. I think Leo did good. I think kind of at this point, Young Earth is frankly just an embarrassment to me. I think atheists know it's an embarrassment too, as much as they spend attention on it, much like flat Earth gets attention spent to it. It's an embarrassment. It's not because flat Earth is so viable. That's not why flat Earthers are popular. It's because it's so much fun to make fun of them and point out how ridiculous they are and how ridiculous their beliefs are.
It is fun.
Yeah, and I think that Young Earthers are kind of headed down that exact direction, right now as well. And I would say this, now I would tackle this, of course, differently because I am a theist. So I guess I'll give my theistic, perspective on this kind of at the tail end for the outro, is that I think that at a fundamental level, the Young Earthers are completely messed up. They do not actually engage in true exegesis. Special revelation in Scripture does state that the heavens declare the glory of God, which means that the things that we learn about nature reveal things about Him, including His eternality, which I think certainly points to an old universe and an old earth, because time is not anything to Him. So he's not required to be put on any specific time clock. Now, if we properly exegete, which means to take multiple references of a concurrent witness to come to a truth, we'll look at the idea that the revelation of nature and the revelation of special revelation should synergize. And if we're noticing an issue where that synergizing is not happening, maybe we're interpreting the data incorrectly. And I think that's exactly what the Young Earthers are doing. They're failing at the most fundamental principle of exegesis, to take the book of nature, what it reveals about God, and the book of special revelation and find where they meet. And they abandon that. They force them to be in contradiction with each other. And it makes them laughable, and I think it makes them an embarrassment to the faith. So, but with that, I guess I'll yield. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Smokey.
Thank you so very much, Smokey. Yeah, it was good having.
Wish we could get more Christians on.
I know. More Christians, more theists. We will give as much time because we want people to actually get their thoughts out. If they are good thoughts and good ideas, they will stand on their own. So thank you so very much, Smokey.
Got some
and all right, we are going right down the line and eventually heading to Discord. But Peter, we have been talking about Big Bang Cosmology versus biblical cosmology, a debate inspired by the returning champion of Debate Me Brah on Leophilius, who was on Standing for Truth's channel up against Ken Hovind. I hope you had a fun time. I feel like the skeleton man behind you is definitely having a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
He's having a blast.
He's busting a move.
He's having a blast. Yeah, that's it. I've got my moves from Gramps there, and so. But I won't start dancing here. That would be completely inappropriate. Yeah.
Amy was dancing earlier, so that'll be enough. dancing.
Yeah. We'd better have Amy dancing than me. But no, I really had a blast. I had a blast watching the debate. I had a blast watching Hovind being stumped a couple of times.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
awesome!
I was there for the whole thing. I told you I would be. So I had
you did say that.
When we were on Speech Channel, I had already pulled it up, and I literally watched it from the start. So watched from your presentation. That's when I turn on the sound. I'm not too keen on what went on before, but no, seeing Hovind get stumped and seeing him hesitate and thinking, how the fuck am I going to reply to this? Because this guy actually gave me an answer when I thought he wouldn't have an answer. And I didn't understand the answer. I had no clue what he's talking about because he's using words that aren't in the Bible. And those are the only words that matter. We know that. So, yeah, this was just pure fun to watch. And I really want to thank you, Leo, for doing this. I'm not a fan of some of the debates that people are having. This one you nailed it. This was just awesome to watch, and the fact that his Hovindites are laughing in the back. They don't know any better, and they probably will have to do something to support their boss. I mean, we've
nervous laughter.
For people who haven't seen it, they might want to watch Apologia's latest video with AJ.
Yes,
absolutely.
Gained AJ about 1,000 subs in 24 hours, I think.
AJ's a great guy. And you're his producer, Peter.
That was cool as well. And now we need to get AJ to 2K. So he's got a bigger channel than I do. But yeah, there's a lot going on.
He shot past
at the compound. Even. Yeah, there's a lot going on at the compound. So the fact that people are eager to please the master, I can see why. So that wasn't the part that bothered me. But the fact that Leo literally confronted him with science that he had no clue about, he had no rebuttals to, 90% of the time didn't even know what Leo was talking about. Yep. Anyway, yeah, that was just fun to watch. So, yeah. For those who haven't seen it and are just coming here for the after show, go watch. I mean, it's still live because time doesn't exist. It is still live.
Yep.
I'm still debating him.
Okay. Yeah.
It will never end.
So that is my outro. That is my outro.
And I can't say it enough because I don't know. I just freaking love the non-believer community. We are very big tent. We help each other. Mm-hmm. And we cross-pollinate. So I have to thank Apologia for help. The subs couldn't have gone to a better person because Atheist Jr. has taken specific, let's say, I don't want to say wackadoodles isn't quite the word, snake oil salesman to tasks. Okay? And so go check out both Apologia and Atheist Jr., who is produced by the fantastic Pieter before your eyes.
Good old Pewter.
He does take.
Okay, Amy, do you want me to leave with something funny?
Boy.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? John Maddox here, coming at you with another late night lunch before Rambo. We're going to be having an open mic discussion. You never know where we might end up. But I will tell you this, before we're done, we will have put some Evos in their place, because when I'm finished, you done.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
We finally got John Maddox on the channel. Thank you so very much, Peter.
That was
He's been on once or twice before.
The funny thing is
It's been a
I
while,
can't believe
though.
he actually
It's
said it
true.
that way.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that particular series that I'm going to be working on is going to make me the most hated atheist in the community. But it's going to be fun.
Good job, Peter.
And yeah, we're about to pass it on to Soldier of Science, but we used to have Neff.
Why
come
does Soldier
on.
of Science
We
look
have
like
had-
Amy?
First of all, because Soldier of Science is transitioning. James sometimes transitioning.
Oh, well,
no, but I used to
It's not
say.
true.
I
He just
used
has
to.
Avatar.
Gavin, is that true? Gavin doesn't say it's true. Okay, you're off the hook.
Gavin's got a mouthful down there.
But we used to my thing with
TMI
with people like John is that all the theists are all different. They have all their different stuff. John has always been nice to me. Like when I'm kind of off to the side, we get into heated debates. It gets spicy during the debate, but he goes out of. We were in another theist channel, and he went out of my say to like, "Hello, woman that is a woman," and I'm like, "Okay, John, thank you. Okay, I'll take it."
Like, what about my beard? What about my beard, Amy?
So I'll.
Okay, Amy.
that
Just
being
quick
said,
thing. I'll
You've
leave
already had your
Amy.
outro.
I'll leave it to you. If you want to show Gavin, he's on camera on my end.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Oh my. Well, Gavin, we're supposed to have a debate. We're supposed to have an upcoming debate. I know we've been saying that, but it's supposed to be for like ever. It's like the longest running joke at this point, but it's supposed to be on Praise's channel.
15
I
foot
wish
long.
Praise and Gavin would come on. I should probably come on their channel instead of just lurking.
That's what she
Could
said.
come on their channel.
Hello. Welcome to that one.
Woo! I lurk on all of this channels.
If anything, Amy, I want to see you come on Praise's channel.
Oh, baby,
Wow.
that would be
Oh,
hot.
so much
To
coming.
get it on.
That
And I'll
would be-
also visit his channel, too. What
So
were we
much
talking
come.
about? And, okay.
Love the
moving
belt
on.
buckle, Peter, the PT.
We are going right down the line. And then
Too much
having
coming.
some more fun. Soldier of Science, we have been
Looking
talking
great, Soldier.
about Big Bang Cosmology versus, well, they tell us there's another sort of cosmology, which is biblical cosmology.
Apparently.
But the
Hilarious.
judge is still out on that one. But inspired by old whale members versus Leophilius. Hope you had a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's great for asking. Thank you. You know what? My first thought was like Leo got a chance to have a debate with Kent Hovind. Like, I mean, that was literally my first thought. Like, Leo doesn't have a huge channel. He's this guy I see on these great other channels, but he got a debate with Kent Hovind. And then the next thing I thought was like, isn't Kent Hovind in jail? That was my next.
No.
That was my next thought. That was kind of my next thought. Was like, didn't this dude just get like, arrested for body slamming his wife into the ground?
Supposedly.
It was an experiment.
Allegedly.
Yep.
And so that alone, I didn't get to see the debate, but you guys will testament when I came on, I said, man, I've got to see that freaking debate now.
We'll go watch it.
Like, I got to go watch this thing because this is going to be the most important thing in my life for the next 24 hours because this is historical. This is historical where Leo gets to demolish a Kent Hovind like figure before he goes to jail. And history is going to look back at these fraudulent people like Kent Hovind and freaking people who try to build arcs in the middle of the country. All these fraudulent people, and they're going to look at people like Leo and say, hey, you really challenge these fools and expose them for what they are. So you're a warrior in that respect. I will say to Smokey, who did his outro, where he kind of, I'm going to subtext it and say that he believes that young earth creationists are going to go out with the wind. And I would honestly say that to an atheist, young Earth creationists and flat earthers and anti-evolutionists are all in that like 1 percentile to us. But at the same time, they're adhering more to their textual consistency, if you will. Like to atheists, we believe that people who still adhere to Christianity but don't follow that consistency of textual, hey, the earth is young and evolution isn't real. We believe we can actually kind of destroy you more. I know. You're getting bored. But to us,
loving it, soldier, you're good.
That's what's better than guitar. So keep talking.
To us, we feel you're well on your way to atheism. You're well on your way, Smokey. You're well on your way because you've fallen out of that. Hey, here's a banana, and evolution is a banana. You've fallen out of that.
Thank you.
I'm a banana.
Thank you.
I'm a banana. I'm a banana.
All right, guys.
Look at me move.
All right, that's all I have to say.
Woo-hoo! Thank you so very much, Soldier of Science. And hey, I love the fact any type of difference among science, because the further or the closer they are to evolution, to a old Earth, to I'm trying to think. Anything that is around Earth, you are closer to Team Science, and that is what I like. Because it's broken into two categories. The literalists, they're at least, I don't know, following the book. They're saying it reads it there in plain English after it's been translated. Yeah. But then I'd rather you actually just be on Team Science. You can call it cafeteria. You could call it them. I don't even think the 6,000 day, the 6,000 year is biblical. I think even that is them kind of fudging that. But I did remember that one thing I wanted to say about John, because John was nice to me. But the one thing I wish, which I'm glad, theists are nice to me. I'm nice to everyone, generally speaking, hearts. I wish they would come on here and defend the real reason why they believe. People like John. John is a big geneticist person, and he shouldn't be. That shouldn't be your shtick. Well, no, I mean that's a shtick. That's not. He doesn't go into a lab. Right. He says, I think he's another one with a computer science background. Not going to knock computer science. That's my background.
But he doesn't even know genetics that well.
Right.
Well, because genetics isn't his field. He doesn't believe in Jesus because of genetics. And that is what kills me. John Maddox. LPP. And so I just wish the theists would come on here. I don't want Antangelo seems to have issues on his own on why he shouldn't come on streams. I'll let him deal with that. But when he would come on here, he would present a whole list of reasons that had nothing to do with what converted him. And that just so annoys me. It just feels like they're saying they're trying to be technical. They're trying to think, what is the most technical way that I can find ideas out here that will bring the atheist in? But it's never the three streams that broke out and I saw the Trinity and therefore God, like the guy who is the head of the Human Genome Project, who is on our team. That guy, he's a theist, he's a Christian, he broke down in three waterfall. Francis Collins. Francis Collins is on Team Skeptic as far as I care, but he's as close to us because at that point it's an intellectual battle and we're just arguing theism versus, but I wish, but if he came on here and he was like, well, I believe in Jesus because of genes, then he would be lying. It's the three fountains, blue jeans. And all right, ladies and gentlemen.
If they believe for anecdotal reasons, they know that's not going to be convincing, so they have to find something.
Well, you know what? And that may be true, but it would be frickin' honest. At least they could tell us, they'd say, look, it was a car accident. I survived from it. and now I'm doing the Lord's work, and that is also why you should believe. That's how that sentence should go. If
like
that
the
is
freak, at
truly
least
convincing.
he comes out and talks about meeting God and his experience, and that's why he thinks people should believe.
Oh no, guys! Oh no! Oh no!
Is the freak? Well, the freak can find us. He can bring up some.
We'll be on the Discord.
Fun in Discord. We got just 3 more people left.
No, it's not. Oh no, because of the freak. Oh no! No!
Bird, because he knows.
But we're moving on to. Were you gonna say something?
Well, no, I don't know if that guy has a Discord, but if he does, he's sure welcome to join yours.
But he does come on our Discord. In fact, the freak.
Well, no,
I'm
talking about scientific science.
Scientific science? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Scientific science. Oh,
do you know who Mr. Intelligent Design is?
Mr.
the one that debated R and Raw.
Oh Lord,
I'm not sure. But I'm now interested. Scientific science.
Leo, I moderated that debate.
I know.
And all right, I'm handing it on to Bird. Vegetarian Bird. It had ever since the flood.
Vegetarian Eagle. Get it right.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. A bold red, white, and blue vegetarian eagle.
I thought he was a
bird.
That's right.
We have been talking. Well, apparently, where is the time gone? Really,
time is irrelevant here. It's not a thing. So
that's what we learned tonight, as well as talked about Big Bang Cosmology versus biblical quote-unquote cosmology. Thanks to Ken Hovind versus Leophilius. I hope you had a good time. And what are your final thoughts?
I always have a great time. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Thanks.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Big screen,
so much
vegetarian eagle. I know honestly that's what we aim here. That's the goal. That is the goal.
We aim to please.
We aim to please. And all right, we have James. We have the normal. He's landing. He is landing the plane so that Leo can have. I forget what it's called in comedy. Not a front runner.
A show opener.
Can your cat hear me?
Close to that. The showrunner.
He cannot hear you. No, unfortunately.
But Gizmo says hi, and James W. The floor is all yours.
Man stirring the pot, but I'm not really going to add too much to what everyone's said,
headliner.
Yeah. Gizmo's the main attraction around here. But thanks, guys, for coming to our after show. It was an absolute blast. Thanks, everybody, for coming on.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for coming. And we will probably be back tomorrow night. So stay tuned. We had almost a week off, but we had a lot of things going on. So we're going to get that taken care of. And yes, one more look at the start of the show.
Good show, guys. Good show, guys.
Yeah.
Amy, you should throw your Discord in the YouTube chat again in case Mr. ID happens to have a Discord. He could hop on in your server.
Excuse me, sir. Really
sounds good.
Really
Leo,
don't want to sound
really good. Leo,
thank you.
Good. Yeah.
I don't want to sound pretentious here, but I think he followed me here, and the only reason I say that is because about 15 minutes ago I got a comment from him on my mirror of my debate with Jen that happened on this very channel.
That's right. Go check out the Debate Me Brah with Leophilius and Jen on this subject itself. Well,
38 double D.
Not Bible cosmology, but something like that.
And then speaking of the man himself, Leophilius, we have been here tonight because of a debate with you and Ken Hovind on supposed biblical cosmology versus Big Bang Cosmology.
Quote,
I hope you had
fun. Thanks so much, Leo.
Yeah, thank you for being here as always and tonight especially. And what are your final thoughts?
The the first thing I wanted to comment on before I forget it again, because by a miracle, thank you God, it popped into my head. Jason mentioned something about where Kent Hovind would make statements, and I would just come in with, I don't even know if Jason's still in here, but would come in with the science and just be like, no, that's not how this works.
I'm here.
The one moment that I was glad that I was able to catch as I was typing out my notes for my first rebuttal was when he was talking about speeding up and slowing down the speed of light, because that only relates to light's travel through some medium, which is a very, very important caveat. And I kept trying to explain to him that like light moves at sea specifically in the vacuum of space. Oh, well, a vacuum means nothing. I just,
but you can't speed that up.
Yeah, no, well, technically, no, you can't. And he just that was another highlight. Is it definitely? I mean, anybody who actually knew anything would know that Kent was struggling to follow along with certain concepts. It sounds
light
like
years is not a distance.
Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, it's a distance. It doesn't have anything to do with the time or anything. I'm like, yeah, but it's light. It's like years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how more time you get in
Oh,
years.
well, maybe computers can calculate those angles for trigonometry, but still, you can't calculate the distance.
That was the fucking thing I forgot to say, is that I was going to say that our satellites can measure these things, and it can measure the extraordinarily small variance between Earth's aphelion and Earth's perihelion, and is capable of calculating trigonometrically what the distance is from that. And it obviously it's rough, if it's, let's just say, 17 light years away. I mean, we're talking hundreds of trillions of miles. Yeah, hundreds of trillions of miles. It might get it to within. Yeah, it might get it to within a few 100 million miles, but what's a few 100 million miles to tens of trillions?
Like 99.99%.
Exactly.
Correct.
He says I don't know about space and gravity. If you've got a Discord, feel free to. The link's been posted in the chat. If you don't, oh well.
You should.
My email is posted on my YouTube channel. You can get a hold of me there. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Leo. Thank you so very much, Leophilius, and go check out Leophilius's channel.
Did want to say I am glad that I got to make it, because I always love Amy's streams. They're very lively, and there's always good discussions going on.
We always love having you, Leo.
Well,
thank you so very much, Leo. Woohoo! And all right, with that, and it sounds like a gauntlet throw down the Discord server.
Thank you for
I hope you all had a
coming.
fun time. Oh, always a fun time coming. Look, I just try to make sure that in this shake weight competition, everyone has a happy ending. Anyway, I hope you had a fun time.
Here is your cab fare.
That's right. Look, you got to make it somehow. On this episode of Skeptic and Ranting, Big Bang Cosmology versus Biblical Cosmology,
quote unquote,
where tonight we put the Big Bang up against the Bible for some cosmological fun. I want to thank my co-host, James W., with our guests, Big Screen Bird, Brainbug, Soldier of Science, Peter, Smoky Saint, Bubbles, Ogre, Mark, Jason, and Leophilius, along with all of our awesome mods who make this stream so great, the people in chat, and viewers like you who make this channel even possible. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. Then hit that bell icon so you can join our live streams, or hey, leave a comment once the video's done. After the show, we will be heading over to the Skeptic and Ranting Discord server, the link of which is in the description below. Lastly, if you'd like to help us make even more fun content, our Patreon is right there at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.